So we'll come back to this, and I'll show you more of the scenes and more of the behind-the-scenes stuff as well. But for now, we're going to open YouTube up, and we are going to break down this trailer. Every frame, not quite, but, you know. Let's see then. And let's see, I'm gonna be testing you guys to see how many of the nods are not even just like, almost like sci-fi nods that I put in there. Okay. Okay then. Is this gonna work alright? I don't wanna watch it in 4K, that's gonna be a bit intensive on me. Let's watch it in 1440, that should be quite nice. Okay. Here goes. Actually, no, I'm gonna drink a cup of tea before I... That's good. So I also have in my collection... I'll tell you what we'll do. No, I guess you've already watched it, right? I mean, do you think it's worth watching through without me interrupting to kind of like familiarize ourselves? What do you reckon? Is anyone in chat not seen it yet? I know Grid hadn't seen it until like a couple of minutes ago. Okay, right. We'll watch it through once then. And then we can go over it in detail. So, here we go. I'll hide myself.
Survival. Is it enough to simply get by? Or does it mean pushing yourself and others to overcome anything that life throws at you? Space engineers, masters of construction and design in the harshest environments known to humankind. We are innovators. We are explorers. Where others see problems, we see potential. We see opportunities. Space is an unforgiving but beautiful place, and you will need training in order to live among the stars. Astronomy, the laws of thermodynamics, navigation. Knowledge of these skills can be the difference between life and death. That one of the strongest forces in the universe is the need to create. Every time we build something out of nothing, Every time we give shape and organization to something that had no structure, we are creating a miracle.
Yes, sir.
We need to create. Creating is our destiny. It is why we were put into this universe. We push the limits of what is perceived a realistic goal. We turn the impossible to the improbable, and the improbable to the complete. We choose to believe that everything is possible. Our imagination is our ultimate tool. It has no boundaries. But we know that advanced theories and sophisticated technology aren't enough, for it is creativity and teamwork that make true space engineers. There's many of us. We are growing. We are getting stronger. Someday they will ask, where were you when the first space engineer welded the red ship? What will you create? Where will you explore? How will you survive?
All right, there you go, fam. So, let's come back. Let's hop back in here. Where do we even start? Like, where do we even start with this, right? So, I think the first thing I'll say is that I knew this was coming up, and I was challenged with the thing. Okay, you need to make a trailer. So I was like, okay, we're going back now, for a little bit. How do you show? I sat and mulled this for a while. I really, like, it was a stressful situation. It was like, how do you? Because the other trailer is like, okay, right, we got to show this, and this. Like the overhaul of the pressurization, it was kind of a bit more obvious. But this, you could have showed anything. You could have had like racing. You could have had like more building. You could have had like just the classic red and blue ship, and there were so many options. But actually, Marek had the original plan for the trailer. Basically, I'm not sure if I have the document somewhere, but Marek basically said, like, I want, was it like a male and female engineer, recovering from a crash, building this, flying to some station. It was like, like a short paragraph of the rough story, right? So Marek basically, which is good for me, right? Because Marek kind of had in his vision how he saw the trailer, and then it was just about me kind of filling it out and kind of putting this here and that and this and that. But the actual, the very kind of overall high level plan was from Marek, actually. The splash screen as well here, this was something that Marek wanted. I was making this a long time, actually, just before I made the trailer. There was a lot of iterating on this one as well. Again, Marek picked the music. He was like, I want the Keen logo to be built in time to this music. So this was also a challenge, because it was like, okay, so like changing to the beats and all the rest of it. It was quite a challenge to do it. But I'll actually show the world that this is in just a second. Let me just turn this down just a little bit here so you can hear myself. And this was we'd used the replay tool before, actually, but still, this is the replay tool in action. You guys obviously know this. I'm going to talk about this a little bit because I think it's still part of the update. See, I had these engineers flying around. I first basically built the Keen logo, which I'll show you in game in just a little bit. And it kind of then went backwards. Whenever you're doing time lapses and stuff like that, it's always easy to go backwards, from a completed thing rather than trying to build it up, you see what I mean? So what I would have done is here, I would have, ground down the blocks and then welded them back up, right? And here again, it was this bit of trying to connect the music to that. So if you look at this, it's the changing of the states. to the music, and it was a challenge because the music's quite quick. So trying to have it on the beat is actually like, you know what I mean? And also it's not steady. It's actually, the rhythm is actually increasing and decreasing. It's actually kind of, it's not all the same. It's played with a bit of freedom, you might say. So if you hear it, it's not a constant metronome beat, right? A lot of cuts and a lot of takes, for sure. It took a, you know, it was, I feel like, you know, the trailer, the intro is like 20 seconds. I feel like, you know, I probably spent, I don't know how much time on it, but, you know, out of the entire trailer, the whole 5 minutes, you can this intro thing was definitely the longest thing, just because of this connection and timing, right? Anything else to add about this? Any questions about this before we move on? Because we're going to be going through all the little Easter eggs and Mickey Mouse nods as we go through this trailer, because there's so many little things. I'll explain, because again, Marek gave me this overall plan, but the ships and the assets and all the rest of it was all what I had to think about. And also Marek had this from the start. He wanted to have a voiceover, right? That was also a part of it. And that was kind of being worked on the side. They were kind of, you know, writing out... we're trying to basically... plan what they wanted to say in this trade. So that was a whole team effort here. Hey, and there's Marek as well in the chat. Goodness me. Well, welcome, Marek. Now, blood levels rising. Let's give a warm welcome, guys, to Marek Rosa, who actually, again, was had the main idea for this trailer, and of course was kind of the director, you might want to say. You know, like I said, you know, I worked on this trailer, but it was a collaborative effort, mainly between myself and Marek, because it was me iterating and Marek saying this, like, I like this, you know, and this angle and so on. But also there was input. Obviously, Natik did the voiceover. The music, right? I saw a couple of comments about the music. That was done by our in-house Carol Antonian, who is like amazing. He does all the music for Space, Medieval, even Good AI has a soundtrack. Like I think we mentioned, like he's done so much music, Carol, and he's actually, you can kind of hear how his music's evolved over the years. You know, you listen to the old music and the new music, and there's new themes and new ideas there. And I think I saw my friend Sam in the chat. Good to see you, man. The music was written, you know, for this trailer. So it's also a hard thing, right? I can say this trailer's epic, but actually, if you watch it in silence, sure, it looks nice, but actually the music, it gets your heart pumping, right? So the music is so important. And then we had Lukasz, who's our sound guy, because sometimes when you're recording, it's like hard to get the sounds the right level, right? So for example, you see an explosion in the distance. You want to emphasize that in the trailer, but because the spectator camera is not right next to it, the sound levels are all over the place. So actually, we give the trailer to our sound designer, who basically does a sound pass and basically puts the sounds in where they would be, or even over the top of them, but at the right level, so it all mixes nicely. And because when there's a voiceover as well, you don't want the music and everything else interfering with the voiceover. So it's all very carefully balanced and mixed by Lukasz, because basically how it works is I send him my in-game recording sounds, and then Carol sends in the music, and we send in the voiceover, and then Lukasz basically does the final mix of all those inputs and adds some sounds in to kind of wrap up the whole thing, and then he sends me the WAV file, I slap it on the video, and boom. So one of the core things is actually trying to finalize the timings as well, because, you know, you can imagine if I'm changing the timings of shots and so on, it can mess up the entire music and everything else. So one of the things is we get to a point in the trailer creation where we're like, right, no more edits, right, no more changes to the trailer, only iterations on the same shot, right, no timing changes. That's one thing that's worth noting. It's gonna be a long night, I think. We're only on 5 seconds in, and there's lots of little things to comment on. But the main thing is that yes, the main visuals and obviously the cinematography and stuff is my work, but the overall thing is a lot of people's effort. And I'm not just that. I mean, I'm not mentioning the feedback we get from Vlado, our COO, and Jesse as well. So we're obviously putting it out there, and we're getting little bits, and this could be better, that could be better, and so on. Aragaf as well, obviously commenting as well sometimes, but mainly. The cinematography stuff is between me and Marek, because he said like what he wants, and I'm just then pretty much alone doing that, if you see what I mean. So, carrying on here. I'll turn this reel down, so just in the backgrounds. And this was another plan to have this kind of, this star spinning. You'll see in a second when I load the world what I mean by that. Hey, Ryuki, welcome. So there we go. Now, who spotted this? Who spotted this? What does this? What comes to mind when you see this? I'll turn it up again. This intro, right? This intro was a mwah, mwah, mwah. You know, when I envisioned it.
Survival.
Yeah, you said it, right? So this is definitely some Star Wars intro crawl. I don't know how it came to my mind, because I'll actually tell you one of the previous plans we had. And thank you for the raid, Coil. Welcome. Good to see you, man. Really appreciate that raid, Coil. So that was definitely that. Now, one thing is, this was made separately. So basically, I did this shot, and it was so hard because what I had to do is, I had this this actual armor block logo here in a space, and then this point here I saved the game. Now at that point I didn't know I was going to do this pan down, so what I'd do is I had to create the scene and the ships and the asteroids exactly below afterwards, but without upsetting the spectator, because if I moved even a little bit, you'd notice a little bump. So it had to be this super smooth, transition from this going down to that. But you're absolutely right. Like, Star Wars is a massive influence in my life. It's my childhood and everything else. So I think that was almost certainly that's what I was thinking with that, with the kind of pan down, and the music is kind of a bit like mysterious, and then suddenly ships fighting, right? So. Anything more to add about that? Well, I'll tell you what I'll do in a bit, is I'll show you I can show you some of the older, I'm sure Marek will be okay with it, some of the older documents, the planning documents. I think it's fine. It's just basically a storyboard, because again, I'm actually skipping some steps in the video creation, right? So the first thing, we make a list of things we want to show, and that's actually normally made by Marek. And Marek says, okay, I want to see the two engineers to start with. Then I say I want to see, this elevator, for example. The elevator was something that Marek wanted. He saw Aragath and made this elevator, and it was like, damn, that is space engineers right there. So he was like, okay, right, let's put that in the document. So I knew that at some point I was leading up to that ladder. I wasn't quite sure it was going to be the final point, but that was kind of the plan initially, right? So once you've got a list of things that we want to show, then we go onto a storyboard. So basically I'm then in game and I'm taking screenshots of the scenes, so you can start to imagine how it will look. And even then, that's actually when I'm preparing the assets. So for example, these fighters that you see coming in here, they originally were like this rusty brown color, but then with some feedback from Marek, we changed them to this reddy gray color instead, which I think looks cool as well, actually. And not just that, they're kind of ground down. So let's play it here. So you've got that kind of Star Wars intro crawl.
Survival.
And then the music kicks in, you see them flying here. And one thing, there's some things I'm not sure I want to break your immersion in the trailer, because there's there's a couple of tricks here which I'm not sure if I want to, because then if you see them, you will never unsee them, but it's all right, because there are I don't know. Oh, actually, I'll get to it in a bit. So here they are, just flying here. I quite like the way the sun reflects off this one here.
Is it enough to simply get
pretty cool.
by?
So then I wanted to do a shot tracking the guns. Now initially I actually had a passenger seat tracked on, I had it attached underneath this rocket launcher. So I was actually sat on the same grid, and it was kind of interesting, so it looked like a GoPro or something like that, but then we decided to go for a free cam. And I was still trying to figure out how could I do a free cam and track it and make it look good. And you know what I did? This is using a character, not spectator. This is using the new inertial dampening thing, auto dampeners, right? So basically I had a character who was accelerating with the ship, relative dampening, thank you. So it means that I could actually have the ship moving and the character tracking the movement. So actually relative dampening is used a couple of times in this trailer to get these tracking shots. So it's another little kind of tip for you guys making these videos. Right, moving on. So yeah, some rockets going off. Now I knew I had to kind of the idea was that they were going to crash, but I didn't want to have it all the same because, you know, we always have some, like the last trailer was a crash, the other one was like a surprise. So I wanted something different. And the classic would have been to have red, like normal red against blue. But for this, the whole point, I wanted the enemies in this to be this kind of pirate faction, which is why I had this kind of red thing. They kind of bashed up a bit, ground down blocks and so on. Right, so you see the damage. Now everything is continuing. So this ship and its damage is continued on from the last shot. The difference is it is a different scene because I'm trying to get like a good angle and so on. So this is a slightly different rotation, if you see what I mean, right? So then, for example, here, this is showing the cockpit view in Space Engineers. You've got to imagine that you're seeing this trailer as someone who's never played Space Engineers. So think about what you want to see, and what we want to show is in Space Engineers, right? We're trying to show as many things as possible. And this, I mean, straight off, actually, this ship in itself is a nod to the community, right? Like, if you've been seeing Space Engineers trailers for a while, you guys will know this is the classic blue fighter. It's pirated up, but it's still the classic blue fighter. This is the first kind of thing here. All right. We'll get through this eventually.
Or does it mean pushing yourself and others? So
then this is another shot which I was actually using relative inertial dampeners to take this. So I had a character in front of the windscreen because initially I had it a static shot and just had this pan, but it didn't have enough motion to it. So actually this shot using another character to look at these guys made it feel a lot more alive, right? Yeah, so it's also another thing, little subtle thing that I thought of is just to show the fact that you can open and close your visor. It's subtle, but again, it's another thing that kind of squeezing it into the trailer, right? So we have the female engineer shutting her visor and then prepping to go outside. And even this in itself, I wanted to show things that people will find in-game, right? Because some of the things are like stuff off the workshop and so on, but the main thing is this ship is what, if you start in space, you'll find. Like every person who jumps into Space Engineers, Learn to Survive, will see this ship and it's like, oh damn, that's the ship from the trailer. So that was also the other side of this.
To overcome anything that life throws at you.
This is showing kind of standing on a moving grid, right? The fact that you don't have to be sat down, you can actually walk around a moving grid. You see some damage there, and then it's also shooting from moving grids, right? It's finally knocked out there, crashing, switching views. And that was actually an accident. Like I wanted to take out this second fighter somehow. And actually this take was an accident, but because I was recording it with the tool, it captured it and it was like, bam, I just reloaded it and it was done, right? So it went down great. Yeah, my piloting, I know. Everything is my piloting, so both the good and bad piloting is me. Then the music here, right? Now, this shot here again, like some people are saying bad piloting, and it's actually, while it was arguably bad piloting, it does happen because I had these thrusters and so on damaged, which had been from the earlier bullets and impacts. This actually was the state it was in, and it wasn't able to slow down quick enough. Now, I'll admit, this shot was not faked, but it was me crashing into the asteroid. But the asteroid itself was because basically I was experimenting with this chase idea, and I happened, as I was running away from these pirates, I happened to just try to escape, and I ended up crashing exactly like this. So the one I say it's fake is the fact I just recreated it a second time. I don't know why. Oh yeah, for the continuity, right? Because when I crashed it the first time, it was fully intact, but I wanted the crash, people probably wouldn't even notice, honestly, but I wanted the crash to have exactly the same amount of damage that it had taken throughout the first 30 seconds of the trailer, right? So I recreated the same angle and everything else and had it crash. So technically it was like a, right, 3, 2, 1, go crash, but it was the same thing. So it was an accident that I found this spot basically hanging over the edge of an asteroid here. So guys, there'll be plenty of time for questions later. I'm just going to try and run through this trailer, and then we can go through the more like kind of replay tool and questions that you might have, and we can go through all of that, right? Game Gaboo wants to get to the gameplay. You come to the wrong stream and game, because this is all about this tonight. And another thing is, I had to re-record a lot of these shots because of the ragdoll. Now, I started the trailer many months ago, and when I first started it, ragdoll wasn't there. So as you know, the engineers are all stiff up and they're just moving around like this. So actually, I had to re-record a lot of the shots with ragdoll because, of course, it looks much better. Like even seeing this engineer kind of floating over the hole here, it looks so much more natural, right? So again, we've got the two engineers that crashed on the edge of this rock. The idea was, right, let's go find some stuff. Now, this is in Learning to Survive. This is the Learning to Survive. I think it's the welding thing. So again, I wanted this thing. You can see in the background, there's a sparking kind of solar panel and so on. So I really wanted this to be, so when people jump in the game, they're like, oh, damn, like, you know, I've seen this before. I've seen this freaking station, you know, from the trailer. Albeit it's offline, so there's a little bit changes, but still. And just another shout out, the music here. It's so subtle, but it's so great. The way it connects with this flyby mystery kind of thing. You just listen to this, like this little thing here that Carol put in. It's one of Jesse's favorite. Boom. So there we go. So the carrying on here, we've got this kind of approaching into this abandoned hangar, showing off some of the nice lighting and things you can get in Space Engineers if you find these derelicts and these wrecks and so on.
We are
showcasing the brand new block, okay? So you've got close-up of the hydrogen engine and you can hear it kicking up as well.
Space Engineers, masters of construction and design in the...
Sound guy a DJ? Maybe, I don't know. Marek might know, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. But there's honestly both. That's going to be our music guy. I mean, like Carol's probably doing the music stuff. It's just the overall mixing and the balance between the voiceover and the sounds, which would have been our sound guy. You know what I mean? So no, Carol's a god. So again, here we're showing welding. We're showing repairing. Right. Another theme of Space Engineers just into the thing. Right. Marek, the question was: is Lukash or is Carol a DJ? You know, like something like that. I feel like Lukash might. I can imagine Lukash being a DJ. Actually, I can imagine him on a set of, you know. Right. I'm also trying to remember the points about this this trailer to see if there's anything else that I've missed here. So yeah, repairing stuff.
Harshest environments known to humankind.
I love this shot. It's one of my favorite, right? Because it's like this. In a way, it's classic Space Engineers. This kind of eerie. You got this kind of dark, beacon lit asteroid here, a hangar, and this kind of constructor coming out of it. So I absolutely love this shot. He does look like a DJ. It's very true. Very, very true. Again, kind of showing the kind of repairing here of this thing, because one of the initial ideas is whether we do this ship, whether they build a brand new ship, right, or a brand new station. But I think for the first time in a while, for the ships, is actually showing a repair job, because I think we've had new ships being built or found or something in the other trailer. So anyway, see that?
We are innovators.
And it's just subtle things at the timing of this shot, right? I could have had it later, but I really wanted to have it so you actually see the fire stopping, right? So it's on fire, and then it goes out. So it's stuff like this that on the first take it wouldn't have been there, and as I'm watching it, like I've watched this trailer probably 1,000 times while making it, right? And I'm thinking, is that good enough? Can I make this better? And stuff like this, the timing, like making this a little bit earlier so we see that fire transition away to add to that thing is something that I might not have seen initially, right?
Are innovators. We are.
And this, okay, you know you get in trailers, and Marek's going to see this now as well, because I didn't see this until the release. I think it really was like, it was actually after the live stream. It was after the party. It's coming up to one of these trailer goofs, you might say. And I can't believe no one spotted it. I didn't spot it. No one spotted it. No one from the community spotted it yet, but you'll never be able to unsee this now, okay? Coming up. So first off, this bit here, we've got docking to another ship, right? So we've got a small grid able to lock onto a large grid and fly off. It might not seem much to many people, but it's the fact that you can, in fact, put ships together. So let's go here. No, it's not this scene. Sorry, I spoke too soon. So here we go.
Explorers.
Docking here, taking off.
Others see problems. We see potential.
And we see... Oh, let's back up a little bit here. I didn't fully repair it, so I wanted to even show here that you've got like semi-constructed, right? So you've got like all the blocks placed down. You've still got a bit of damage. You've still got a little bit of like armor crumpling. You've got the ramps here and the thruster missing, and this one not quite complete. But it's coming up here. So let me see if you guys see it. What do you guys see here? We see a large ship and a small ship on top. Ready?
Potential. Opportunities.
Anyone spot anything? So, honestly, I feel like it's the only proper goof in the whole trailer. But because this is a separate scene, or it's even a separate place in the world, I had to copy the ship from this scene, right, to the new scene, to Flyby. Now, I forgot, I was editing it at like 2 a.m. or whatever, and that if you copy a grid, it does not copy the small grid, right? Only if it was on connector. So pretty much, I forgot to paste in the little miner, the little constructor on top, right? It should be on top of the ship. But I guess to get it, I would have to have pasted this in and then pasted the miner in separately for it to work. And I didn't because I just forgot about it and I didn't even think. And good news is no one else noticed it. I don't think I didn't see any comment about anything. And for example, you know, who knows? This could have actually, maybe they dropped it off. There could be some backstory. Maybe they left it behind, or they went somewhere else and they left it in this hangar. So it doesn't matter too much, I don't think, for the continuity. Like it could be anywhere, right? They could have like just ditched it. But it was something funny because I definitely would have. I think I was supposed to have it on top there. So there's a little blooper for you guys. Thank you for the, what's that, 29, let's see some clang and twang for the DJ, guys. And thank you so much, man. Good to see you. Now, this shot here, this right here is Milady shot, me community shot, right? So there are so many ships in this trailer that, in this scene, which are me community. We've got, starting with no particular order, this right here, my ship. This is the ship from the pressurization update that I featured at the very start, and it was kind of flybying, right? So you might recognize this one. Here we have the ship from the beta trailer and also the first jump campaign made by Aragaf. We've got some blue fighters on the deck here. We've got the green shuttle, which we know from the multiplayer trailer, and I think, yeah, just in the multiplayer trailer. We've got the classic blue, the classic red. We've got the Pilgrim's Curiosity, which is also in-game, but also it was also seen in the overall of visuals and wheels. We see the little red ship here, Doc, which is one of the enemy ships which attacks the station in the overhaul of wheels and visuals. We've got me community, little lifeboat, yellow ship flying past there. So yeah, the yellow ship gets this is the kind of final send-off for the yellow rescue ship. And this ship here from the Planets trailer, this was Conrad's ship, the Challenger, which was basically the main ship that you see is featured in the Planets trailer. The new ship, of course, in the background, we've got a little squadron of blue fighters flying by here, and this ship back here isn't a part of anything. I think that's I thought it looked freaking awesome, so I put it in there, right? But that isn't from any previous show. The whole point is, in this scene, you're gonna have. The idea was there was a lot of ships from all the last trailers, pretty much. You know, there's also one more I think that flies by. Yeah, this miner here. This is the miner from the multiplayer. It's overhaul of visuals, I think again. Maybe multiplayer as well. So. Yeah, try to think as many as possible. And also the little ship you see flying around in a second is also my ship, which I had in the pressurization update. So let's carry on. But one of my favorite shots, longest to get right, I think, I don't know. I felt like I spent like I don't know, yes, like more than, I don't know. Yeah, anyway, to get the shot on the angle, everything else working and everything in time, it was so long, right? To get everything flying and moving at the right spot. This little thing here, just I thought it was by accident, but it was quite cool to have the shuttle passing underneath the Pilgrim's Curiosity here. In the shadow, right? And you see my little ships here. There's like a bunch of my little ships. Crashes, all kinds of issues, Smocky, that you don't see. Not issues like game crashes, I would say. Just more just like, you know, timing issues, trying to the cinematic stuff, right? Xocbot, I forgot about Xocbot. There's a couple other ships that I would have liked to put in the trailer, but I just forgot about it. I need to calm down a bit. I've got my head spinning right now. Speaking so quickly, right? I'm super excited, that's the thing. So again, different angle, we see the same red ship that we see at the very start attacking the Octo Dock. Oh, and this station itself, because I'm so distracted by everything else, but this is a fantastic station, which I don't have the name of off by hand. Oh, I managed to find it somewhere. And that's something on my list to do, is to make a list of all the things that we can share on social media so we can give a shout out to every single creator, right? But this station's epic. I love it. Okay, so even in this shot, right, just subtle things like the blue fighters flying over, you've got the Pilgrim's Curiosity in the background, which is continuing on the same path, to be honest. And then you've got the three green guys welcoming the male and female engineer to the station. Again, same ship, same amount of damage and so on, just missing their little mining friends. Jumping down.
Space is an unforgiving but beautiful.
Again, follow. I love it. I mean, and this might sound like a bit like bigging myself up, but some of these shots, it's just to see them again, it's like, because it's so satisfying to see the final result, because I knew how long it took to actually get the perfect take, right? So if like this, you see this fly down, guys walking up the ladder, and then this passes by. And of course, this is the one, the same one from the pressurization update. Oh man, I'm so good at this. Right. Walking towards the new ship, and again, because of the I wanted to have it so you knew the same characters, right? So I was like, this is the same male and female that we saw at the very start of the trailer, and these are, you know, in white, and these are the guys in green. Lovely corridors in the station, though.
Astronomy.
Yeah, it's a cool, it's an interesting touch as well, like having these components lying around, because it looks freaking awesome. I think, like, I love it. I love seeing this stuff like lying around. Astronomy. So this is a new ship made by Trav. Mwah! I've actually got some screenshots somewhere, probably looking at the assets, because there was like probably 4 contenders for the main ship. I knew I needed a new the main ship of the trailer, you know, that I needed to feature to be the main showcase. And there was around 4 that were really freaking cool, but this one, looking back, it was easily, in the end, there was no challenge. It was just so detailed and so AAA looking, right? So that was a deal with that one. It wasn't orange though, so I recolored it. I basically swapped out all the places you see blue, it was orange. It looked cool, but I wanted to stick with like the main factions, right, in Space Engineers.
The laws of thermodynamics.
Right, and again, just subtle things, like even in this shot, like every shot was, you see like the blue ship here spinning around, you see a miner up here taking off and landing, you see, if you look inside I know this might sound so petty, but I'm just trying to point out all the little things I did to make these scenes feel alive. So you've got like a couple of the engineers in the bridge and walking around, and this ship again flying over, this green ship flying past. You're looking here.
Laws of thermodynamics. Navigation.
Okay, so the story here is that they've arrived here on the station, and they're like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, hey, well, we've got an expedition force going out. That's the kind of deal, right? And they've joined up with another team of engineers, and they're going off to explore. But beautiful interior, my goodness me. LCD screens here, genius usage. And again, when I was looking for ship interiors, there's no way there was any better interior than this. Like, it's so compact, it's engineering-y, and it just feels sci-fi, right?
Knowledge of these skills can be the difference.
So takeoff time. So even this shot, again, more movement going on. We've got engineers flying around, doing some maintenance and whatever.
And death.
See, there's a ship passing here, and another. I saw Kevus noticed it on the first playthrough. We got a good friend. Oh, it's behind my head. A good friend of ours, arguably also the thing of nightmares. We have an Argent Tarvis just sneaking, lurking in the corner. Literally, like it's. I think not everyone saw it, but it's just there, just kind of coming in to the edge of the shot here. Let me just play this through. There you go. So, bit of Argent Tarvis action there coming in. So, I try to put in all the OG ships of some sort, you see what I mean? So, again, thinking of this, I had like the characters flying around with the lights on, trying to make this shot look as cool as possible. I mean, again, I could have there was no stopping me. I could have had like a million engineers flying around and stuff, but it was this point like, okay, we don't want to go over the top with this, you know. I could have had people walking down the corridors, and if I was making a definite cinematic, I'd probably fill it as many as possible, but I was trying to keep in consideration a little bit about how many engineers there are in this scene, right? So that's why there was like that amount, so yeah. All right, and one of my favorite shots here, this was actually the shot that made me decide I wanted this to be the ship of the trailer, right? I had all the ships lined up, like cha-cha, against the moon like this, and I was flying over them, and I was like, there's no way I can pick any other ship for this trailer than that ship. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so jumping and lining this up right, so it was perfectly lined up, jumping towards the planet, and also fading to white there as well. You can kind of see the frame disappears, but that's reminding me of something else. Just skipping back to the start very quickly. The initial idea I had for the start of the trailer was that ship would fly through, not that ship, sorry, but a ship would fly through the King logo. So I had an idea that basically a ship would fly from off camera here and fly into the logo, and the logo would fade away, right? It wouldn't like smash it. It would basically just fly. It would kind of have this smooth movement, fly in into it and jump drive out. And then it would come out of the jump drive, and it would come out of the jump drive too fast, and then they'd hit an asteroid, right? So it would have been played a little differently. They would have ended up here, crashed in the asteroid, but it would have come from... But it couldn't have been this ship because this doesn't have a jump drive. It was going to be a bigger ship. I think it was going to be the Cerberus, in fact, from the multiplayer trailer and... well, the last 2 or 3 trailers, right? That ship from Venom, it was going to be kind of coming in here, flying from the side, and kind of, yeah. But I changed that, and maybe that's an idea for another trailer, right? Did you make a storyboard beforehand, before the entire trailer, or were you working from Marek's instructions? So Moot King, again, good to see you again, Sam. The plan was, Marek gave me an overall idea. He said 2 engineers crashing, recover from the wreck, flying to some station, going to a planet, doing engineering stuff. I'm pretty sure that's more or less the description he gave me. And then all the rest, I kind of filled the blanks, and he was like, seems good, man. So that was kind of how it went down. And I gave the storyboard to him. He approved it with some tweaks and so on. So, yeah. Here we go. So coming out of jump, and this is my BSG. Oh, God. This gets my BSG things flowing. And I'm trying to remember all my kind of, in the back of my head, my sci-fi inspiration, right? But this shot here... Pegasus. The Pegasus is coming. Return the Pegasus to save Galactica, right? Fire those batteries. Boom, 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 boom. And my goodness me, when the music kicks in here, I recorded it in quiet. It was peaceful, right? Apart from the rockets firing. And then, of course, Carol had that drop when they started firing, and it was, yeah. Now, these ships, again, I want to load them up because it took me a long time to get them to the way they are, because they're all ground down differently. For example, this has a ground down thruster here. This one doesn't. This one's missing the top. Like, this one has no antenna on the top. So these ships are individual, and they have some of their hangar doors aren't grind down and everything out of that. So, like, I need to show you guys in Game the World in a second how, like, these ships are actually... I spent a lot of time making them look all bashed up and piratey, right? But they only appear on screen for 10 seconds. It's amazing how much time you put in to getting the assets prepped for each shot, right? It's so much more than just loading the game up and going, oh, that looks all right. But here, you got some stuff ground down. I don't know. I wanted to split a ship because there was something we noticed near the end of it. It was like, hold on a minute. We have this Space Engineers trailer and we have no ships being split in half. That's like, how is this possible? So I kind of wanted to slip in. There was no room in the plan to have like a ram, like a ship actually crashing through and splitting something. And I thought, okay, there's been enough of that. But I wanted to at least show the actual destruction, right? So actually having the fact that I could split this up, and you can see it here breaking two parts, all the debris, I think it's glorious. This was actually kind of a nod to that, right? So landing, coming in here. Showing this bridge view, looking around. Seeing all the engineers up front. Again, standing on a moving grid, right? Oh man, some of these shots. Yeah, again, even these shots, like you guys, I need the folder of all my takes because you see how many takes I did just to get this landing shot, right? Just to get this thing in the right angle, like coming down here. I feel like I spent at least half a day, right? Just doing this, the right angle, movement, speed, everything. Smooth, not this, you know. There we go. So the first take I had was kind of like all janky, kind of came in, was like, and sometimes I crashed, so literally sometimes I actually hit the deck, but this was beautiful. It comes in at an angle and then balances off, right? Thank you for all the follows, guys, tonight. I really appreciate that. Urbad and Drac Gaga and Warfare Clown and Tapal and Jimmy and Bipoda. Thank you so much, guys. So yeah, that was the motion that I wanted, and in the end it was perfect.
That one of the strongest forces in the universe.
This actually has retractable landing gears. This actually has landing gears, but I didn't use them. I just thought it would just sit on its belly. It does have them though. This shot here, another one that was not last minute, but it was late coming. But it's kind of artistic, right? It's that balanced shot, and it shows you all the detailing and all the thrusters from above, and it's it wasn't like in the plan. I see what I mean. I just kind of ended up looking at it from above and thought, actually, with the grass and everything else, it looks sick. And you see the engineers approaching from the back of it as well.
Is the need to create.
And just the rear of it, right, with all the different thrusters, the atmospheric, the ions, and the hydrogen with these big wings. And people obviously wondering what this is. This is, of course, the on the rotor heads here. So basically, the story is they've landed.
Every time we
thumbs up. This place is good. We've got the same character again. We've got some other characters here, but again, we've got our main male and female engineer who are from the very start of the trailer, right? So that's the idea there.
Build something out of nothing.
And now we start to see like what the survival update's about, because again, there was a concern internally. It was like, hold on, Joel. Like, you're showing this trailer. It was like, but what about the survival things? I was like, don't worry, I've got it all under control here. This is showing basically, you know, how you start off in Space Engineers, the dropping down, right?
Every time we give shape and organization to something that had
the idea was dropping in different parts of the planet, you know, the desert, different biomes.
We are creating a miracle.
In the first person view. And what's so nice about this is the fact that it really, it's Aragaf made this one, I think, but so much of this is exactly how the game plays. If you see what I mean, like if you play survival now with a bunch of people, you end up with these little outposts with the wind turbines. This looks like a classic early start of a survival world, right? And that's why I love it so much.
We need to create.
And again, this shot here, getting the timings right? So I wanted some guy coming out of the grounds here, and I wanted this being unwelded and then finished off and just starting to spin. So again, it's trying to fit in all those fit in all the different elements of Space Engineers. Got some guy down here grinding as well. And then complete, and it starts spinning. So, right. So then we're going to now follow a different group of players.
Is our destiny.
They land here, and another base built by Aragaf. This kind of mountainside base, right? More just kind of pan down here. I mean, the Earth-like planet is, in a way, it was. I want to say it's easy, but with the Earth-like planet looking as good as it looks now, it was so easy to make this these shots look so nice because just the surroundings. Again, got to look a little back base. And the idea with this was showing that you can actually deform voxels, right? Because can you just have like on the surface? Well, people probably know that, but the main point is you can, it's showing off that you can have underground bases and hangars and all that kind of jazz.
A realistic goal.
So rovers, showing off rovers. Love this shot again. Again, this is kind of a shot here which is showing off the new surroundings and how all the trees look and so on.
We turn the impossible to the improbable, and the improbable to the complete.
Okay, so we got our next community. I don't know if anyone spotted it at the first time watch through, but what we got up here. And Aragaf was so proud of me. He was like, damn, boy. He was like, what a nice touch. What a nice touch. I don't know why it came over, because I think it was the fact that I wanted to showcase as many of the old blocks as possible, right? I wanted to, old ships, OG ships. And it was kind of a send-off for the old landers, right? And if you see them here, you can kind of see they're kind of crashed in this corner here, but they're kind of like sparking and smoking and burning over here. But again, for the first playthrough, you might not have seen them. Now, this is a base made by Aragaf, but inspired by Smoky, because basically Aragaf saw these awesome screenshots by Smoky, who's in the chat right now, Smoky SOE. But he didn't have the blueprint, so basically he looked at an image of Smoky and recreated it, because he was like, oh, we need that, and we need these rovers. So this is actually, all this stuff is actually Aragaf's stuff, Aragaf's recreation of Smoky's things, because at the time, I didn't have any assets from Smoky. So he actually copied Smoky to get the same vibe, because this is Smoky right here. Let's see some love in the chat, guys, for Smoky, because the next 30 seconds or a minute is Smoky's masterful color scheme and ground down and design, because it really is fantastic. You are looking pretty much at Smoky's work. I mean, Aragaf is a level creator, and he's recreating stuff and doing whatever he's told is a good thing for. He's quick at doing this stuff. But I love this scene, right? This is kind of this outpost up in the mountains.
We choose to believe.
Again, you see these things sparking in the corner.
We choose to believe that everything is.
And here we go. Now I think this is Smoky time now. So this is Smoky's. And thank you, Draincia, for using your Twitch Prime on the channel. Really appreciate that. Some clang and twang, guys, for just Draincia. This is Smoky's Carossa, what's its name? Carossa Valley? And we found this, I guess, it would have been like 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month before the release. It was one of the public tests, and I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with this world, and there was I had no plans to put it in the trailer. We had other plans to trailer, right? But when I saw this in the public test, I was like, there's no way we cannot show this, because it's so engineering-y, right? So we just pan back here. So we've got these guys going down. And even the timing here, as it passes behind, it was kind of luck, I think, this shot. I had a lot of attempts at it, but as I pass it, it actually switches on its sirens. Bleep, bleep, bleep. And then goes after it. This is another example showing how voxels can be deformed, right? Showing that you can actually dig tunnels and underground spaces, trying to showcase those features.
Our imagination is our ultimate tool.
Okay, we got a fun fact here. Originally, I made the farms as just a nice quick scene and didn't have plans to release it as a world, but I saw Xocliw asking about the world in Discord, and since I've never released any worlds I made for screenshots competitions, even though people asked, I decided to finally release one. Blueprints of the buildings and the roads in the mountains I had already completed before, but the whole valley with the fields, roads, and building placement was done in. Oh, I think your message cut off there, man. Reached the limit. There you go. Marek, there's Marek as well, giving you the Marek seal of approval. Oh, Marek was the same, I think. I think he saw it. I'm pretty sure he saw it. I think it went down like this. I had already started using it and working on it, and we retweeted it on our Twitter, on our social media, and Marek sent a message to us saying, oh, wow, guys, I really like this world. And I was like, good thing, Marek, because I'm actually using this world in the trailer. So it went down something like that. But yeah, Marek saw this, that Jesse had posted, and was like, damn, that's really good. So There we go, got some chasing here. And then we got this shot here again. So, again, I think the music, I mean, I can't take all the credit because just the music here is perfect. It gets your emotions flowing. I mean, I've got, just down here, we've got like a constructor driving in. There's like an engineer. Oh, he's behind my head here. Oh, does it remind me? Yeah, there's like an engineer like running here as well. You've got like a ship down here on the lake approaching, this ship flying, this ship moving. There's a car down here moving as well. So there's a lot going on.
There's no boundaries. Ultimate 2. It has no boundaries.
I feel like I need to go in slow motion here to appreciate. No, that's not good with the sounds. But I think it was trying to decide how to show off this world of Smockies, right? How do you show this off? It's a whole freaking valley with all those bases, but this is one of the best shots, I think, because you pan down, you see the roads leading down, you see this upper road, you have the foreground road and this kind of chase going on. You have this kind of a bit further away, this kind of little outpost, and then you have in the very bottom of the valley the kind of construction yard and everything else going on. This is probably a better way to do it. It's in slow motion here so we can... Right. Again, you can see the ship. Right. So this shot here, things you might not have noticed, right? There's been characters. You've got like 2 guys on the roof here. There's a convoy, about 3 vehicles moving there. The lake car still coming. There's a ship landing in the distance there. So I'd probably play it first through. I guess play it normally. Otherwise it's kind of... I don't know. Ship flying past there. Oh, God, this shot. I mean, again, it's all smocky. It's all smocky, you know. You got a couple of guys running into the hangar. You got these guys heading out to do some mining, I guess. Ship landing in the distance. And you know what I didn't do? Well, I didn't do them for a reason because here I could have unveiled ladders here, right? I could have unveiled ladders at this point, or I could have had them there. They were so far away, people probably didn't notice in that shot, right? But because it's a 2x, because the grid size, actually ladders don't place too well on it, if you see what I mean, because they can't be centered. So actually, I left it as it was, I think. But still, this whole vibe though, right? Like this awesome grass, kind of in the shadow here, but having these little rovers set off. Oh man. I mean, it's just looking at it's because I'm reacting the same way I'm reacting now to the first time I saw these in game myself. Like, this is all Smocky. This is my boy Smocky. Except we can have a little Easter egg, you might say, or a little milady in the community. The ship down here, the Brawler. This is Aragaz vehicle. This was featured in the campaign and also in the multiplayer trailer. So that's another kind of like mid-community shot. The Brawler. That's the only time you see it. And also, of course, these ships here, all the green ships, these are all Aragaz's shuttle. I think they're called just the shuttle. So that's also featured a lot. But you just see the Brawler kind of come around the corner here and move off there. So, but I mean, this is, you know, I tell you what do you guys get from this vibe? Like, I think I asked it before. Like, when you see this stuff, what kind of feeling do you get from it? Like, the people in our office were saying like armor, right? It's a very armory feeling. Like because I always feel like these kind of like barrels out and these kind of like modular container buildings, military outposts, Halo Reach before it was glassed. Yeah, very industrial. Halo Reach, StarCraft. Okay, moving on here, and this shot, my God, this shot, it was like, I think I'd probably try and rank the shots and the longest to get, but this took me ages because I was trying to get a shot where I was flying underneath the engineer's arm. So basically the shot would start, you get those swipes, you get a swipe in a movie or a cinematic where an impact basically swipes the next shot. I wanted the intro swipe to be the engineer walking like through the camera, but not through it in like a glitchy way, but like under his arm. And I was trying to get the timing when he was like moving forwards, and eventually I thought it looked stupid, and actually it was okay just like this in the end. I kind of changed my mind about it, but it took me a long time to get this right in the lighting and everything else. And there's also things you guys might not see. For example, the sun things, like if I want to change the sun distance, sometimes when I reload a scene, it's not normally reload, replay. It's normally reload, get the sun position right, get the camera speed right as well, because the camera speed is not saved. So actually redoing a shot isn't just, reloading it. There's things that you haven't seen yet in the production, and I think it's things that we at Keen can improve on. I just need to, so on my list of things, just to talk to Marek about. But there's a couple of things that would again make my life easier and make a lot of other life easier. But there are normally when I have to retake a shot, it isn't just a retake. Actually, there's a bit of work to do. So I don't know. I remember spending probably like at least. I was in the office at like 2 a.m. doing this shot, right? I just remember it. It was a 2 a.m. job because I couldn't go home until it was perfect. It kept, I don't know, like for example, maybe this ship, we had some weird particle, or maybe this car went a different angle because there's some randomization in the collisions here. I just remember it was one of these shots where I couldn't give in because the final shot of Smocky's thing. We have this Cerberus ship. This is the... Venom's Cerberus ship, right? And we see it getting built in the last trailer. We see it in the last multiplayer trailer, like fighting, and we see it getting built in the overhaul trailer, time lapse, right? But I also wanted to put it in there because it's such a good looking ship, and I basically gave it a green lick of paint. So, but it's perfect. It fits so well. The location of it, Smoky hasn't got anything on that spot, but it's basically there's a road that goes around like this, and there's a big patch of flat grass. And it was like I was looking for a place to put it down the ground, and there was only one place. It was this place. So I definitely think. Oh, hold on. You were planning to have a larger city centre, but those buildings are too work in progress, so I cut them and added more fields. Again, Smoky, like it's such a good place for like a shipyard or something. Also, guys, thank you so much for all the new followers tonight. I really appreciate it. They've got Seneco and a Sugar Friend, and Patrick and Mitmatch and Snubber, Buttons and Flipperin and Llama Llama. Yeah, I'm doing Space Engineers on a weekly basis, guys, at least a couple times a week and so on. So maybe this is your first time watching, but this is a special edition. This is a special trailer rundown. Sugar Fiend. Right, carrying on then. So in this alone, though, I wanted to show some more things. I had like the welding ships, the fact that it's not just hand welding, because the shot before this, right, you've got like the guys welding up the bases with their hands, welders. And this shot was showing 2 welding ships, also showcasing the fact you can ride vehicles, right? I mean, as I was going over the months, I had to go back to previous shots and try and fit in more features of Space Engineers, right? And this was one of them. The fact that I wanted to actually show the fact that you can sit on a grid like walking like this. It's something subtle, and maybe no one even thought about it. But to me, in my mental checklist, it was like, yeah, that's an awesome thing to have, just like going past, right? There's a couple of guys running down here. There's a guy hand welding here, a guy hand welding here. There's a ship coming into land in the background as well. The main thing is, I mean, yes, we come back to it. Yes, this is not taken from a multiplayer game, but because to get this shot right would be impossible almost if I was trying to coordinate 10 players to do this at the right time. But with that said, it's all happening in game. It's all running at 1.0 sim speed at 4K, 60 FPS. Right? This is the thing. It's all running fine. The difference is I'm a one-man army, and I can direct the shot exactly how I want it. So it's not like an animated trailer or a CG trailer. It is all in-game footage. It is totally in-game. The difference is it's not being controlled by multiple people, you could say. Because there's this whole trailer is in 4K 60, right? So carrying on. So what do you get from this? Does anyone see the inspiration in my head for this shot? There's got to be someone out there. Again, it was a late edition. Okay, maybe not the shot. Actually, maybe more the scene. What's happening? No one said it yet. No, I got Lion King, Crop Duster scene, Mass Effect 3 trailer, Finding Nemo. No. Gladiator's a good one. No. Inspiration for this, Rogue One. Now, not quite, I'll explain. The idea was you got three mysterious, three things approaching a lonely farmer. Something like that, right?
We know that advanced
Shadow, flying in from the sun.
aren't enough. For it is creativity and teamwork that make true space
Troopers running, going towards, flying, and in the distance you see a little farm. So boom. Farming, really? A man of your talents? So again, it's not like a direct rip, because obviously you guys none of you guys really saw that. But in my head, like, I think almost, it was kind of subconsciously, I think. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to copy that. It was just like, I had this scene, I wanted to have these guys approaching, but it kind of ended up feeling very Rogue One-y at the very start, right, on the farm. So so do you guys see it now? Now I've pointed it out, do you kind of feel that? Do you not see it so much? But I love this shot. I love the flying in from the sun like this. Like, panning up from the grass, shadows.
advanced theories and sophisticated technology aren't enough.
No, yeah, like Rogue One was like darker and grayer, and it was like on some like rocky planet, right? So it was not the same setting, but some things.
For it is creativity and teamwork.
Layered footage? No. This is just in-game, shadow play. I'm using shadow play to do all this,
True space engineers.
Here we go. And actually, little point here, this was so close. This was literally like, it actually collided when I first recorded it, and I had to increase the height a little bit. But even now, it's like a foot from hitting this wind turbine. No, maybe not. I don't know. It's maybe I did raise it higher, but it definitely did. Oh, and shout out, this is made by John Wack. John, give a little wave in the chat. Now, what I absolutely love about this, it's not some fake setup. Well, this is actually a world made by someone in the testing phase of Space Engineers for the survival update. So on the first ever survival test of all the new features, we play multiplayer on some server, on Fightless Spurred server, I believe. I think that's right. And basically, John Wack in the chat, or Tadio, he went off and was his lone farmer out in the savannah. And on my stream, I was like, okay, let's go check out what John's up to. And I came over to this, and I absolutely fell in love with the vibe. The way he had laid it out, he's got this kind of piston pushing drill and so on. And it's not like some scene that's set up in creative mode. Like, some things are made in creative mode, which is fine because creative mode is a part of the game. But for the survival update, it's nice to have an actual player-made survival base, which is totally plausible, easy to achieve, and all the rest of it, right? So that's why I really like this scene, because this is the only thing I added was the ladders, of course, the ladders onto this. But it's authentic, right? Hey, Sawyer, welcome. And everyone else joining us tonight. It's great to have you guys here for this special stream where we're going through the trailer and behind the scenes stuff. And we're only just getting started, because when we finish this, I'm going to then show you guys the in-game scenes and how they look now, right? And Liger, thank you for gifting a sub to John. That's very kind of you, Liger. Let's see some clang and twang, guys, for John joining the clan club there. Thank you very much, Liger. Right, playing on here. I love this as well, this design here, right? Just having these ground down stairs to make this kind of walkway, the lighting, it was fantastic. And again, the idea is here, it's not some aggressive thing, and you kind of see the cars pull up, right? So this is already pulled up, this car rolls up. That was the whole deal with this, was the fact that these guys are like, I think in my head I saw it like this. It was like, hey up lads. I hear there's a new block in town. It was like, let's go investigate what the deal is, what all the excitement's about. So they drop off all their stuff. It's like, oh, let's come around my place and come out, check out this brand new prototype block. It's a super scientific discovery. It is the ladder. With dramatic music. So even this scene here, of course, I mean, I know it got some giggles from when we first aired it, right? But that was the idea of it. It was like, I think some people said it right. If you don't know Space Engineers, people will be like, why the hell is there like some super dramatic music for like ladders of this scene? Because it's super dramatic. So I think for new players or people who don't follow the game, they would be quite confused. But the whole point is there was this build up, right? Everyone coming from far and wide to come and take a look at the ladders. No, that's all fine. This was added later. Like I was doing some shots. This shot here was longer, I think. But instead of doing that, I mixed it in with a shot from the backside so you could actually see the face while climbing up. I had the sun here, and even this thing here, it's you probably don't notice when you first watch it, but there's actually loads of engineers all looking up in a second. Another thing I added, it was just one guy climbing, and because we already had one guy climb at the start, I thought it'd be more dramatic to show two people climbing, and we could have even gone further and had all four people climbing up the ladder, right, on these wind turbines. But it was quite cool to have this in the foreground and this guy in the background climbing up. And this is the wheel construction state, exactly, yeah. So even here, you see like you've got engineer here, engineer here, engineer here, engineer here, engineer here, engineer here, engineer here. So there's about like 10 engineers all looking up at this. But when you first watch it, you're probably just focused on the actual guy climbing. But I was just trying to have this kind of like, oh my God, scene, right? Where they're all kind of like in awe of this amazing thing. Okay. So, the final scene. You've done very well, chat. We're kind of nearly 5 minutes in, nearly at the end. So, this was, again, way less complicated at the start. It was just this on its own. And I don't know if it was Marek or who it was, but we decided to make it have like more of a base, a more significant base, rather than just the elevator stuck on top of the mountain. But the location was fantastic, right? With the mountains in the background, all the trees, the lake in the distance as well. And it really was just this, but having the wind turbines and everything else there. So the idea here, I don't know how many people clicked and actually saw this connection. The story is we have engineers coming from far and wide to see this a bit like the last scene in a way, this glorious construction. But it's not actually quite like that. It's actually more so an alliance, an unlikely alliance, an alliance between the reds, the blues, and the greens. Forever. In every single Space Engineers trailer, nearly, but at least for like 6 years of trailers, it's always red on blue, blue on red, a bit of red on blue again, back and back on. It's always fighting, right? Why can't we find some common ground, you know? So, if I'm not mistaken, at least in official Space Engineers lore, or like, you know, history, we have them joining forces to make a joint strike fighter.
Getting stronger.
Get a bit closer here. So this shot here, there's a little blue rover going off. We see about three guys walking around. There's a red ship landed. There's a green ship coming to land. We have another red ship coming into land here. Bunch of guys on the platform. And you see another sort of thing like this. I didn't have ladders to start with. So for example, this guy climbing up a ladder here was added last minute, right? This is a miner as well that we've seen before. This miner's from the it's in green, I think. It's a constructor from Aragath, and it's in the multiplayer trailer. So you got guys walking around. You got guys flying onto the pads.
Someday they will ask.
So here we go. So the idea of this is this, you know, like the Eurofighter Typhoon. Sorry, I say Typhoon. It's something like that, and people didn't notice it because I remember I saw it on Reddit and I commented on it. And people were like, oh damn, I never saw that. But look, red, green, blue. You got like a little stripe, subtle. It's a beautiful craft, absolutely beautiful. Again, I was looking for some really cool ships, and I went through all my blueprints. I looked on the workshop, and there was something about this, and it's also engineering-y because it's got these missiles, which are actually they use a programmable block, I believe. Oh no, I'm not sure, but they're scripts basically, so you can actually fire these missiles, and they actually track a target. So it was something a little bit more advanced, snuck in there, right? Just to see that, you know. And yeah, the subtle thing with this was the fact that it was this kind of I actually painted this completely in in this white and grey because I think it was in orange and brown again. Or it was a completely different colour, right? So I recolored it. I went through it and did a white pass and then added some grey and then a dark grey, and it actually took a while to actually repaint it. I realised when you had to try and get underneath all the blocks and so it just took a while to repaint this. But then I was going to have it just plain, but then I had this idea of having these engineers coming around to unite, right? And that's why I put these subtle stripes on it. There we go.
Were you when the first space engineer?
You see this? It's the yes, it's the missiles. Camera spam. Yeah, there's a lot of cameras. There's like 6 cameras on that side, 4 on that side, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. You know, there's a lot of cameras on each missile, I have to admit. And there we go. Now also, this is this elevator is not spec'd to launch this weight. Aragath warned me. He didn't warn me, but you saw on the stream, it worked, but its acceleration was, normally it's like, but the added weight of this fighter, it's a bit sluggish to get off the ground actually, and it did clang a couple times. Ideally, the fighter's a bit too heavy for it. I mean, look at it. It's a thick boy. It's got all these. I think if it didn't have the missiles on, it'd be kind of light, I think. But it's kind of like the perfect size to the platform, but at the same time a little bit too heavy. I got it working though. You actually see a little bit of wobble there, right? There's a little bit of wobble at the start. The camera shot.
Where will you?
Just trying to shot of the mechanism inside, right? The wheels, and just seeing all the engineers in awe of this.
Explore. How will you?
And then camera hit.
Survive.
So I think we've made it to the end of the trailer. So well done, stream. You've made it through the whole trailer, and I think I've plugged in all. Well, no, there's way more little things that I would have done and so on. But the biggest things I've done here, I've gone over. I mean, the things I'm most proud of. Just in time, says Equinox. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. How you doing, man? The main things for me though, with my favorite community thing has to be this here, right? It's this. Seeing these guys, seeing these old planetary pods at the back of this shot, and then also just this shot here, which have all the old OG ships, right? You've got like the blue fighters, you've got the yellow ship, the Planet's Treasure ship, the old red, the old blue, you know, all this stuff. I love all these things because, again, people who don't know Space Engineers, they're like, oh, whatever, they're just some ships. But for everyone who's following the game for like even if you've been following it for a couple of months, you'd recognize this ship maybe. But if you've been following it since the beginning, then you'll recognize all of them. Or at least you should do, right? So that's what I had there. And the other themes are the fact that I wanted to show the new content, right? Being this new respawn ship that you start in space in. This asteroid base, which is Learn to Survive. Just summarizing real quick here. The new drop pods, of course, dropping around.
No structure.
What your average start in survival looks like now, right? These little outposts with the wind turbines and so on, people working together. And that's mainly they're kind of the main things that I really wanted to fit into it. So we can move on now to the in-game stuff and showing you guys some of the scenes. But my question before that is, do you have any questions, guys? Is there anything you want to go over, or anything else that you want to know about it? Like, how long did it do this and whatever? I'm totally open. I'm curious what you guys got for me. Also, thank you for the follows, guys, coming in from Kush, Smoke, and Lizard Soul and Alcatraz. Jumping Jackie, welcome. R&D, welcome as well. How you doing? Whew. Oh man, I'm out of breath now. I feel like I've rambled non-stop for the last 2 hours. Got it all out of my system, you know. I've been dying to share all this stuff with you guys. So, will the music be available? So, right now the music's a mix. But if Marek's still hanging out there, we want to look at getting more music tracks, because we haven't actually added any new music to the game since Planets. But since then, we've had a lot of cool music produced for the game, but for the trailers. But it's not in game, right? And I know that some of you guys are fans of these themes. Like some of these musical themes are sick, right? What's my favorite? I'm trying to think my favorite here. I love this scene. This is so classic sci-fi. Did you? What do you mean? Oh, sorry, the cosplay it's Keen's cosplay. LSG was just putting it on, Sawyer. Unless you're. That's another good point, though. If you guys are curious to see our Space Engineer's cosplay suit being put on, Aaron just did a video. I basically helped him get into it. So if you want to see how you actually wear it, it's a pretty interesting video, I think. You want a fanboy about it? It's a really... Well, actually, the 3 videos Aaron put out this last week, so they've got the cinematic tool, which is going over the features that I'm talking about tonight. He's got a vlog of Prague, which is like the fun we have with Marek and Captain Jack around Prague and doing crazy stuff. And then the third one being the actually putting on the engineering suit and seeing the breakdown of that, right? Lockness, thanks to follow. Let's see some questions then. With the dev tool, could you use those spare engineers to pilot multiple drone grids? Yes. An engineer can be in control of a remote control block. So yes, you could actually, I believe so. We could try it maybe, but I'm pretty sure, yes, you could actually have, like a room full of engineers controlling drones, and you could record those players controlling those drones, right? Did you at any point use combination of the replay tool and real players? No, I didn't. But you could do that. That's what's so cool. Like you can actually have a thing where, the coolest thing would be to have if we could have it in the scripting tools. So for example, if you trigger a certain action, you go into a certain room, it triggers a replay for those characters. Because that way you could actually use the replay tool in the cinematics and in scenarios. So Climbs with a plugin, amazing. Because it's exciting times, right? Max, welcome. The suit was a bit big for Aaron. Like the suit's designed for someone taller than me, in fact. So it definitely was a bit bulky on him. Climbs plugin. Shall I just let this play in the background when we're talking about it? Okay, we'll just have this playing in the background too. Do you see yourself writing, directing Space Engineers movies? There's definitely a lot of freedom to create scenes in the game already. I'll leave that question up to Marek if he wants to if he wants to answer it. But let's see some 07s in chat for a Space Engineers movie, like a full feature. Well, it could even be like a half, like even one of those ones that's like a 20-minute one or something like that. You get those mini films that they see at film festivals. But for some sort of Space Engineers movie with a cast and voice actors and maybe even some facial animations, like what's going on, mate? Let's see some 07s if you're actually wanting to see that. See, Ardow's saying no, but a lot of people, that'd be awesome. Live action Space Engineers. Yeah, screw Space Engineers 2. We want a movie. All right. You heard the community have spoken, Marek. Forget games. We're going full-time movie industry now. No, I would not be able to stream. It's true. Too cringy. I'll watch though. It doesn't. It's only cringy. If you have bad actors. If you have like good actors and it's serious, it doesn't have to be cringy. I mean, especially if it's kind of got some humor. If it's like, the thing is, if you try to make it really we got echo tangle, let's go do blah, blah. It's risky to be cringy. But I think if you make it a little bit light-hearted, what comes to mind is think of like the Bad Company 2 campaign, but as a movie, right? Like a little bit. If I feel like if it's a little bit more light-hearted, maybe it takes the edge off the cringiness, because I think you get the kind of try hard, right? It not necessarily, but I think you can run the risk of it being try hard, unless you have good actors and a good script. It's not just good actors as well, because as we've seen from certain movies, good actors aren't everything. It's actually a lot of it's the script and everything else. Dushan as an actor. See a Assassin's Creed movie. What was what was the point you were making with that, Climb? Hey Wheezy, good to see you, man. So everyone else joining us tonight. It's great you guys are joining. We've actually gone over the main thing there. And I suddenly thought I was saying that Equinox, I just thinking back, man, I saw you said something that should be in your first free weekend for a while, right? You've had time. So it's is the move gone smoothly? You all moved in now? You settled a bit, or have you still got boxes to unpack? Whew. Honestly, I'm exhausted now, guys. Oh god, so much rambling in like 2 hours straight, pretty much. So there's still some questions about the ships. So if we haven't posted the ships yet, I will post them this week. Okay, I'll find some time this week to make a very final list of everything that we've got in there, and then we'll post it, and you guys can have a look at every single asset, or like at least the main ones from the trailer. Okay, fantastic. That's good, Equinox. Pleased to hear it, man. It's always chaos, isn't it, when you're moving? It feels so good when you're finally settled. I got some cold tea here, Sawyer. Another point I wanted to make about the whole trailer thing was, what was it? No, I've gone blank. Yeah, you know, it's the Argentavis. But in terms of Goose, like I say, I'm thinking like, you know, cause I watched it so many times to try and perfect it, and I think the only mistake I made was really that forgetting the constructor on top of this ship. That was the only like goof or inaccuracy or inconsistency that I had in the whole thing. I think the rest of it was pretty solid. How long did it take? It's hard to say, Android. It's really hard to say because I wasn't just doing the trailer. I was doing the intro. I was doing some other video work and stuff which you may or may not have seen. We started planning the trailer. I'm going to say at least December. But maybe the first plan was even November. We revisited it and said, okay, this and that. Obviously, when we knew what was going to be in the game and what we had to show and so on, so it progressed. I mean, the final month and a half was a real crunch, right? Come back and it was a real crunch to get everything done. But on the whole, yeah, it's impossible to say how long. Got ahead, but great job on the trailer, Xocliw and King's Software House. Looks good. It's good to see you, Sam, and I really appreciate you stopping by for the stream, buddy. It really means a lot. And you see what I'm up to here in Prague still. I'm doing good. And it'd be great to see you soon, either back in England or if you can sneak over for another trip. Hope you're doing good. Good morning from Aussie. Hello to Aussie. Right, so there's no more questions about the video itself. I'll actually go ahead and jump into game. I can show you the replay tool and show you how powerful it is, right? Right. And I'll grab a drink as well because I've definitely got a bit of a headache now. Self-induced. Yeah, let's see. So guys, what do you want to see? What do you want to see first? Now, I heard about that Equinox. There's been some things. You got some modding work to do, right? 07 changes a bunch of stuff. The roads were all done in creative mode, Mr. Master. Smoky will tell you that, I think. Oh, the loading circle. Oh, the loading circle's a mod of mine. Ignore that. It's a local mod. I was showing the chat a while back how they can mod Space Engineers, loading screens, and everything else. And this is a leftover texture change. So let's have a look. The fighter. No. Let's go with a ladder wow scene. I don't know what. I think this is the walking scene. Let's have a look at the ladder wow scene. Oh damn! This is one of my screenshots. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a quick drink. The A stands for nothing. The ST is survival trailer. The A is because it means the file name makes it high up, right? When I sort by name. So hold on. Let's grab a drink. Oh no! That's not good. I got a graphics driver crash. Uh-oh. That's not looking good. Okay. Let's see. Let's try again. It could be anything. It could be anything. Oof. Oh! Wait, yeah, what am I at? Hold on. I'm at 3998 hours on Space Engineers right now. Wait a minute. Hold up. Did I just hit 4K? No, I'm still on 3998. Got 2 hours to go, so we can hit it. We can make it tonight, right? We got to stream Space Engineers for 2 more hours. Oh, that's gonna be quite late though. Oh, bruh. Steam profile says 399. Ugh. So just let me know, Kevs, when I hit it. No. Right, let's try that again. Who knows what happened? Oh God. Don't mind this. So if Marek's still watching and is maybe concerned, this is again a local mod. This is not the game. This is my hackery that's messed this up. I got one of these Kinder things. Good on. Wow, so good. Right. So put some hold on. So you can see the scene here. We have engineers lined up, right? Guy over here, car ready to move in here. See the rest of the scene, you see what I mean? Because I want to focus on what I'm doing here, I just have everyone where I'm at. But as you can already see, there's a problem, right? It hasn't loaded in the right lighting setting. Because for that, I'd have to have the setting disable sun rotation. But if I disable sun rotation, I can't change the sun rotation. And I want to change the sun rotation because I want to get the right angle, right? So you can see here, it was a sunset pretty much. There it is, right? So every time I take a retake, I have to do this. I have to open it up, click this, get the right thing, untick enable sun rotation, then off, and now, then like scroll down the speed of this, get the spectator speed right, try and guess it. That's too slow, right? There we go. You know, something like this, but it wasn't like that. It was a move forwards. It was. I think it was like that. So it doesn't save, and it's an issue that I want to change. Actually, is to get when you save a game, it actually saves your spectator speed because then when I have to do a retake, I can literally just reload the worlds and then go, right? Because as it is right now, I have to, set the camera up and also set the lighting up as well. So anyway, we're ready here. And then if I hit 5, you'll see everything come into play. So you see the guys moving. I'll do a slightly different shot here. There's the car rolling in. See what I'm talking about right there? That's what I'm talking about right here. So that's the shot. That's the ladder. Wow, and you can see them all congregating to have a come look at this ladder. What we need is Medieval Engineers cinematic tracker. Like Medieval Engineers has this fantastic way of just like pasting in waypoints and then replaying it. I really desire it greatly in Space Engineers because we have a cinematic tool, cutscene thing in Space Engineers, but it's complicated to use, I'll say. I think it can be learnt, but on the whole, it takes too much time to set up. Whereas Medieval, we can just go bam, 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 edit some things in the script and play back. That's the thing, right? So I prefer to do it manually. I prefer to do my kind of angles by hand, right? Like this. So we just reload this again, show you quickly, and then we'll also get a more complicated scene. Maybe that scene with the car moving and stuff. It's really not. You don't think so? Maybe I'm just impatient. I don't know. So let's replay it at night then instead. Again, my camera is all messed up now, so I have to kind of quickly try and. Not too fast now. There we go. Here come the lads. You see they're all wearing the same suit here as well. Okay. So that's that scene. And we'll make a scene tonight. So I'll show you how it works. I mean, some of you have seen it. If you've watched Aaron's video on it, you'll see it as well in action. But we'll make a brand new scene tonight, so you can see the steps that I have to take from start to finish to make it work, right? The one-man cinematic army, which I really am desperate to get into your hands, guys. Really. Wolfskin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Okay, so we got Ladder Wow, we got the ship. Okay, let's try this one here. Let's try this pan over one. I think this has all the things set up. Don't know for sure though. We'll take a little looky. See again, different night time. There's the shot. Oh, it is ready. Let's come in here, get the right one, and it is the time. And the shadow is like this. I know what the shadow shape is. So it's something like. No, that's too late. Something like that. That's what you want. And if you come down here, it's 2 shots actually because of it's easier. So we have our car and the police or the security coming right. So first off, let's just hit F5 and so numpad 5 and replay this so you can see. Oh damn, it's buggered up. Okay, so I think this is one of the ones that doesn't work. I had to re-record that. So anyway, that's going there. That's kind of just messed up. Oh, this is an older one. No, this is an older one because there's none of the other things moving. This is an older one here. Okay, right. Forget this then. Forget this. Hey, Lander. Mr. Master, hello. How you doing? Thank you for the follow as well. You finished the video. What's that, Shadow? The one from Aaron or? Shadow Trace and I made a. Oh, on that. Made a cinematic with VST, replay tool, and cutscene tool combined. Well, show me. Share it with me. We can play it on stream right now. So using the cutscene, the replay, and the VST. Wow. Am I going to be... I'm going to be... Oh damn, this is pretty sick. Let's watch this here. Ready, guys? We're kind of diverging from the trailer to take a look at what's something from the community. They're using the same tools as I have now because they actually have access to this via the mod SDK, the replay tool, right? I'll hide myself as well. There you go, chat. Let's see a round of applause and some love for that amazing trailer. Now, this is official. I can officially say that you have just watched the first community cinematic video using the replay tool. Obviously not the first cinematic. There's been many of those in the past, but this is the first cinematic using... I'll pop in here. Using these tools, right? I mean, most obviously is that when you have all these engineers here, right? This is obviously, one guy, right? This is all just controlled characters, and I think I will have to send this. I'm not sure if Marek's still watching, but I think we'll have to send this around the peeps tomorrow and get this shared because it shows the potential. This is made in what? Like how long have you guys been doing this? I don't know, but. In a way, it could be a new era for space engineers because give it more time and the plugins and all the rest of the stuff with the community cook up, it could actually catch the attention of people who might not know the game, right? Because like, oh, what's this cool cinematic made inside the game, right? So, no, the replay tool isn't public, but the sneaky breaky lads have found it in the mod SDK kit. So... if you guys are willing to put the effort in to kind of, get all that set up, you can actually use it right now. It's interesting, actually. It's very interesting because obviously there's a whole big deal about the fact that it's not released to the public and everyone wants to access it. But actually, you can do it. You can do it now. True, Equinox. True. And the reason it's there in the mod SDK is because it's in that developer menu. That developer menu has many hacks which should not be allowed on to access in certain environments. So if we were to make this in-game in the standard game, which I would love to, it would have to be separated from those tools. Best would be if it was put into Space Master in the Alt F10 screen as basically replay tool or something like that. So you can add characters and everything from within that blueprint screen, right? And I think this is a prime example of why we should get it out there, because the community will do all this amazing things. I mean, look how good this looks. I mean, like, you get this next shot here, like, walking across the bridge, there's shit flying in the background. And as it said, it took a while to learn, right? And that's the thing, Shadow, because I've been talking about my experiences. Any other feedback from like your point of view? Because it is easy. It's easy. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. I would definitely say it's easy to learn, hard to master, I would say. Because there's lots and lots and lots of tips and tricks and performance and things and all these little things that I've learned after spending hundreds, probably hours of doing this stuff, which I've picked up. Whereas I think everyone can make a replay scene in probably 10 minutes. There's like 5 or 6 steps to follow. There's just lots of little things to remember and like, okay, right, if I do that, then this helps this and so on. It's like, it's kind of, yeah, it's hard to say. Make this custom managed scenario editor. Hell, it could be an RPG maker in SE. Exactly. I mean, my God. Could 2019 be the year? Could in 2019 we see this where we have a full campaign thing, RPG, where actually it's using cinematics in the game with the replay tool, with all this. So basically imagine this is some cutscene, right? Imagine it's panning in. We're panning in here to see Void Station, and then suddenly it cuts the game. It's like, go meet General Fancy Pants up in his office, right? That's what I'm talking about. I think like this could be one of the greatest years for not just videos but also scenarios yet, actually. Hello there. I don't know why the name came to me. So, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's absolutely amazing work, Shadow. Is that Shadow Trace, but it's using Climb's plugin, right? Hold on, we got something else here. We got NPCs with the replay tool. What's this? Something by Climb. So we've actually might be seeing NPCs using the replay tool, which is going to be a big deal here. Let's see. Because again, it's predefined directions. It's not like pathfinding, if you see what I mean. Okay, what are we looking at here? Okay. Get in the back of the truck. No way! So you have a trigger point for the replay. And these guys are like military. They're like... Very nice. Very nice. So are they gonna move again, or is it just one step at the moment? Let's see. Okay, so there's guy. I mean, they're just shooting randomly, of course, but they are pre-recorded to shoot then. Oh, because like, okay, so it's like this. It's like, you know, it's on seconds. So you start the replay, and you know the truck is going to arrive 10, 15 seconds after it leaves, and then you can start shooting, right? I can hear Battlefield music playing in the background, I think. Yeah, I can, yeah. Oh, okay, it's scripted. Okay, it's something different. The trigger can be anything. There we go. There's a mission complete. So that you're seeing now a taster of what the community is cooking up. It's extremely exciting. Thank you for sharing that, guys. Right. So what else can we look at here from my worlds? Let's take a look at this one, because I want to show you guys the pirate. It's not so much the replay, it's more the pirate ships. So you can see this is the year NPCs. It would be the best that can happen to SE. Amazing Shadow, really amazing, man. Okay. So this is the arrival out of the name of it is the C-516 Themis is the name of the ship, by the way. You can see here what I did with these pirate ones. You can see like it's kind of mixed up. Some have ground down patches, some have missing patches, right? Missing bits off the nose, missing the antenna. Incomplete hangers. Just I'd really try to make it like roughed up without being the classic. I mean, in the end, it did kind of look like Red Team, but it was the idea. It wasn't like red and white. It was kind of like grey and red, right? So, yeah, trying to make them look a little bit different here. I think if I hit F5 now, we should see the attack. Let's have a look. Is it gonna move? They're flying forward, and oh, this is the barrage shot. It's so good. I just, you know what I love this? You know what I love about it? It's just the Battlestar Galactica vibes. It's just, I mean, it's the projectile stuff, right? The explosions. And that's the thing, you can relive these moments over and over again. You can set up some cool things, you know, and just relive them over and over again once you've got them set up. So they're moving forwards. So it's actually a pretty savage wrecking, actually. Like, that first barrage really takes out, like, a lot of the stuff. You can see it's on fire and everything here, so. Could you look at the little mining vehicle in the scene after the police chase? Yeah, sure. The little mining vehicle it's in Learning to Survive, so you can actually check that out now, right? So we'll quickly run through these scenes, show you some of the things, how they're working. Okay. I guess we're not going to have... Okay. It's one thing Yes, Trav. Trav is... Big shout out for Trav, of course, for his Themis. Okay, we've got this shot. So I can show you this. It's interesting because this is a shot where I'm using the relative dampeners to actually track the character here. Right, here we go. So you can see I'm actually a character and my dampeners are already set to be locked to this grid. So as soon as I start moving here, let's watch from another perspective. If I hit 5, I'm moving with it. You see the female engineer, she's looking around with her gun. The ship's spinning a little bit, flips the visor down. Oh, the door doesn't open. And another little trick here, how you can do these tracking shots with these using the relative inertial dampeners to actually get these tracking camera shots, right? Don't mind the door. Yes, Kev, because I'm saying the thing is you can't. One of the drawbacks is all the engineers are my Steam ID. So if I change my suit, it changes every suit in the world because they're all Xocliw pretty much. Now I can get around this by very carefully. Well, I used to get around this, but very carefully changing my suit at a med bay and then getting back into the exact same spot for the replay, right? But I'd have to do that every time I did a take. So for example, let's do the shot walking the corridor. Here we go, this one here. Perfect example. I love this shot, by the way. It's just so great. It's the colours and everything else in there. It doesn't work like that, Roni, dude. Unless I don't know if it tracks more. I don't know if you can have multiple. For example, something I haven't tried is if you have a replay tool being used by 2 people. So if you're in multiplayer, so anyone can join this world. I can make this world public and you guys can join it. Maybe we can show that off actually. I can show how you can combine multiplayer with the replay tool. The main issue with that is you have to reload every minute after a take, so it's kind of annoying to keep rejoining. But I'm wondering if you can have more than one person recording, right? Because that way you can have different character colors easier. Now, I've actually got a tool internally, I forgot the key controls now, that allows me to change my suit color and thing on the spot. And how it works is, boom. Like so. Right? Oh my goodness. Oh, I can't. Got a really tickle. Because what it means is I can change my color on the spot without. No, I've not. I know what's going on, guys. Hold up. I don't know what's going on, guys. I don't know what's going on. I know what's happened to me right now. It's weird. It's like a tickle. Hold on. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my Twitch jammies. These are my Twitch PJs. Yeah, it could be like some Django thorough. It could be some, like, I don't know, maybe a bit of hair flying or something like that. It's really weird though, like, or just talking too much. Yeah, Marek knows you're telling secrets. He's activated the silence device. It's implant. I'm just getting like. No idea. Hey, Neverlude, welcome. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, so on the spot, changing suit color, and also, you see here, I can select any skin on the spot, right? Because otherwise, what I used to do is take a screenshot right now. I'm looking, you know, that line's there, and then I'd be like this. I'd be like, all right, spin around, go into the med bay, change to female, and then go back, look down at my shoes as well, take a screenshot of my shoes, look up, right, and then I'll get it perfect, right? So I'll get because otherwise, if it's offset, I'll walk into the wall or I'll walk too far. So I had to get it set up exactly. Here's the shot here, right? Got the guys waiting to get it right. And now let's switch to the main guy, looking down the corridor, spin around. This guy was in green, right? Because I wanted it to have different colors. So let's put him as a green emissive at least, right? So green emissive. It doesn't matter so much because he's just walking straight down the center. So it's not such a big deal for him. And look up. Just gonna line it up here. And again, I might even take a screenshot to actually make sure it's totally lined up. But the thing is, once it's set up with the sexes and the suit colors, when I reload the world, it will all return to one suit color. So I have to do the whole process again every take. So you can imagine how long it took me sometimes to do remessages. Now that's why the guys implemented this option here, so I don't lose my position and my angle, and I can change on the spot, right? Here I've changed. Okay, we got like, I remember that it was like 24. It was this kind of shade of green, right? The kind of station green. I don't know what it was. And now flicking through, I'm ready to go. So this was something the guys added. Now I tell you what, they added this because they told me it's the technical problems with being able to save. I don't know, Equinox, maybe you can finger something cool, right? But obviously it was when I'm talking about bugs of this feature, there aren't really any bugs. There's two things that there's issues with. One is one is the fact that when you're interacting with if you're recording vehicles, right? So like ground vehicles with wheels, and you're driving like around in a circle, because there's some randomization on each impact of the wheels, right? The wheels impacting the ground. It means that they're non-deterministic. I think that's right. If that's the right thing. It means that for ground vehicles, that's what I was looking for, non-determinate. Basically, it means that if I record a car going in a straight line, if I replay it, it will go like left or right or sometimes forwards. It's a problem that I guess Shadow Trace and the crew haven't found yet, because it was all in. If you're working in space and engineers, zero G, flying ships and gravity, it's fine. But if you're working with voxels, there's this non-deterministic element to it, which means it's a real kind of pain to get working. So, for example, that shot of the car, the one when it's coming down. Okay. That's okay, I won't bother. You know the shot where it's coming down the hill and it's being chased by the police car? like I would have had to have redone that shot maybe, I don't know, like 10 times, because I'm waiting for the randomness of the whole thing to be where it doesn't crash. Because that same shot, sometimes the car would come down the hill and would veer off the right and hit the tunnel wall, or sometimes the Jeep would suddenly turn too far and they'd actually crash too early because of this randomization of that collision with the voxel. So that is the biggest issue that you will have if we release this. It will be actually doing ground vehicles right. And Diamond Pirate, thank you so much for the resub, 4 months in a row. Let's see some clang and twang, guys, for Diamond Pirate. And also thank you Ben Wins and Matthias for the follows tonight. So that's the main thing, but it's unavoidable unless somehow we can have like a modded mode where impacts or grounds are deterministic. I don't know. I don't think it's possible. I think it's just something you have to overcome. So it really means that if you're doing ground vehicle chases and stuff, you have to make small distances. For example, if you drive like, you saw it there, I drove in a straight line out of the tunnel and around the corner. But that was split up, right? That was split into 2 parts, because if I did the whole thing in one go, it would be impossible. So I split it, driving into the tunnel, stop. Second shot, recording from in the tunnel, out the tunnel. And it's a short enough distance that the randomization doesn't interfere. Like maybe it's a little bit to the right, a bit to the left, but it doesn't result in something crazy. So your world was a real pain, Smocky, for that reason. Like all those shots of the cars was a nightmare. So if you have some rover like driving around a whole station, like to this base, stopping, moving on to the next one, impossible. You have to break it up or use flying vehicles. And I don't know if there's a way to fix this, but apparently it's a technical limitation. The second major issue or thing to go around is this thing here. Now, of course, we have this player selection thing, but it still doesn't save. So you still have to set up the colors every time, because it's saving your Steam ID, it's saving your character, and when you refresh the world, it loads your character and your data about that character. On the reloads. Now, there's actually a small point. It does remember the sex of your character, gender, right? Because let me do an example here. Let's say we have 3 engineers, like now. If they're all male engineers, saved, ready. But if I was to make one of them a female, and then switch back to a male. No, sorry. Tell a lie. That's right. No, yeah, switch the one I want. That's right. You switch to a female and then you save it then. The character that you're controlling currently is female, and you just changed your Steam ID's character to female. If you reload the worlds, then she'll be female and the other guys will be guys, right? I'm not sure you're following this. The other way around would be if I made this person a female, and then I went to I switched to another character and saved it and reload it, it would also change that other character to female as well. So you can actually have male and female engineers saved separately, right? If you're careful about when you save it, which character you're controlling when you save it. As Equinox says, it's stored in entity data, and color is in Steam ID color map. So the biggest clones can't enter cockpits and press buttons. That's weird. That's not quite true, actually. There's just some weird thing about how it works. You can actually get into a cockpit. I've done it before. But there's something about the aiming offset. I don't quite get it, Climb, but it is possible, but it's very weird. And whenever I've done button pressing in trailers, I've always had F9 control, and I'm actually controlling it myself because it is a bit wonky. So that's it mainly, guys. For me right now, the biggest issues of that, and I've been told by our programmers that to have the Steam ID, to have the player gender and skin saved, it's a very big problem. It's very hard to do, and it could break more than it would fix, or more than it would solve. You see what I mean? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's a way to do it they haven't thought of yet. I'm not sure if you've got any ideas, Equinox, but I was told by our lead guy that it's really tough. So that's why they actually implemented me this. It's a little bit quicker. Well, it's a lot quicker, in fact, because I don't have to manually turn around and try and change. I can do it on the spot, but I still have to do this every time. So you can imagine, if you have a scene with like 20 engineers, for every shot you take, you have to go around and change them to the exact value and skin you want. Because it'd be great, actually, if it actually did save it. Because, for example, you could have like a guy with like a graffiti helmet and like a whole mix of sets, right? So Equinox believes the issue that they've told me. That's interesting. I mean, at least you get it, Equinox, right? Why it's the way it is. And it's a limitation. It's something to work around. And as you can see from the trailer that I made and the trailer that the guys just posted, it's not essential. You can still make great trailers. It's just a little bit of shame that you can't get the diversity that you could get without it. So here we go. Shot set up. Got guys waiting here. Slow down the camera. Moving around. Slow it down a bit. And then we can hit F5. And let's see if we move them correctly, because obviously we move these characters and we'll know, because if I didn't get into the same position as before, oh yeah, we can see, look, the female engineer is actually crossing paths. She should be on the left side. You can see she's hitting the door there, and she's actually crossed the room here. She's not where she should be, because when I started her off, after I changed her color at the med bay, she was in a different position, and that issue there's nullified now with this new screen. But beforehand, in the trailer, it's actually why in the end I stuck with all white, like just plain NASA classic style suit. Right, the only time I had different color suits was at this green station, because again, to set this up was just such a pain, and if I ever had to iterate on the shot or redo it for any reason, it was like hair pulling, you know. Yeah, so that's that shot, and they just stop there. And of course, behind this door, this is how they get into the thing. So actually, there's one other point about this ship here. It's not actually connected, because the station was separate, and the ship wasn't designed for it, and I wasn't really in the mood to modify the ship too much. So you actually see here, this airlock is a little bit of a kind of a thing. You go out of it, and actually you're in space. It doesn't dock up nicely, because the entrance to this ship is actually here, right? That's the only entrance. It's just like down the ramp here. There's no airlock to it, so I just kind of put it there, and I guess they fly out, and they can fly their jetpacks and get to the door of the thing here. But it would have been cool to have like an actual docking mechanism. It's a standard one, you know. It's, you know, 2 merge blocks either side. You've got connectors either top and bottom, so you can either. It's like a universal docking collar, right, in Space Engineers. So, right, that's that scene. Let's back out a little bit and have a look at some other scenes. Again, guys, if you have any more questions about this this tool and my workings with it, please do ask. Right, I got a chocolate here, delicious. These like, this is a fake Kinder chocolate from Lidl, but it's so damn good. Mmm. I just muted it while I was eating because I thought my like mouth sounds would be quite. So there's no music right now, so I thought it'd be better to have that off. Let me actually get some music on here. And this is the balcony shoot scene. So this is the bit where the ship crashes into the asteroid while shooting on the balcony. Man, those chocolates are so addictive. Okay. Alright, so have a good night, man. So, for this scene, now, there are some shots the FOV isn't 40 because if it's always 40 and it's like this, you can't get it all in. So I think for this shot I went up to like 50 or something. So we got a little bit more of the gun in, right? If I hit replay now, let's have a look. The ship starts moving. There comes the pirate ship. And this is like the video, right? But this is all happening right now. Boom. And actually, on the actual take, it was perfect because the rocket, there was a rocket that came out or something like that and actually exploded. So the take that I did for the trailer was perfect because there was actually this like fireball on the impact. So you know, I got very lucky with that. Sometimes it is about luck. So this is perfect positioning. Hit F5 again. Get spectator out. So we see the kind of pirate coming here. See the ship on the balcony. See the engineer firing at him. So you're seeing it from a different angle here. Boom, that was a better one. Actually, that was, again, so far, they actually has been intact and actually could technically this guy could carry on hunting down the blue ship, but in the trailer shot, it really did totally get wrecked. So it's one of those random ones. So again, the blue ship would have now been damaged to a certain point. Where has it gone? I've lost it. Okay. Uh-huh. So then I would have copied this and prepped it, and then prepped it for the impact with that asteroid, right? Where it's on the edge. Because I really wanted that continuity from damage. You see that it successfully managed to set the hydrogen tank on fire, got some thrusters on fire, and of course that final impact does a lot of damage as well, but it's dented, it's smoking. There we go. And you can see how iterating on shots is so easy, because if you had to do this in multiplayer, you'd have to be like, oh, you're right, mate, can you hop on TeamSpeak again? I need to do that shot again, I need to change the angle or whatever. Whereas this, I can come to work the next day feeling fresh and be like, right, I'm gonna make it a little bit different now, you know? Let's watch it from the pirate's point of view again, like you saw it. So here we go. Okay, so the sun in the view. It's cool, isn't it? We're seeing it back because it. Again, all right. I could carry on flying at this. Yeah, carry on. Let's do an alternate story. If we carried on flying and this pirate. Oh no, hold on. Let's say that. All right, we're still good. It's tougher than it looks. It's good for people with social anxiety. What, multiplayer on your own. You see what I mean? Oh, look at that. Oh, okay, I've got no weapons. Lost me guns. Well, that's not as... These ships aren't the most maneuverable, these blue ships. Alright. Oh man, that was terrible. Oh, yeah, that wasn't too terrible. So that's how it could have gone down the trailer. We could have just seen the ship ram and then the blue ship lose its the back of it. Look at that, bam. Now also, you might notice the reason it's spinning is because when I hit stop replaying, it was still recording an action. It was the same reason why this character is still shooting, right? Because I stopped it when it was replaying that on that note. So for you guys joining later, there's another warning. So I've gone through the non-deterministic and I've gone through the kind of color thing. The final thing is that the file size for these worlds are horrendous. They can be. Because, like I said earlier, basically, the game is recording your input, your keyboard and your mouse input every single frame. So if you're doing WASD, you're pressing one, you're moving your mouse, you're left clicking, you're right clicking, whatever. It's recording every single frame. So, you know, 60 frames a second, whatever. If in a minute, that's actually quite a lot of data. So let me have a look here. I spoke to Petter and actually one of the things he wanted to do is actually compress that data because it was, for me, it was a quick implementation. and that data isn't compressed at all, I think, currently. He reckons it could be a lot smaller if he actually compressed that data. But let's have a look here, how big these worlds are. Walking towards new, let's see. Okay, so, what are the one we're on right now? A pirate, where is it, what was it called? A balcony shoot 2. So this world we're playing right now is 200 megabyte. 200 megabyte for this one shot, right? And just to compare, like a standard Space Engineers world is, I mean, this Heavy Bridge world is less than a megabyte, right? How about this Corcosa Valley? That's 13. So the world that Smoky makes, that's on the workshop, of all the buildings, the whole valley, everything, all the vehicles, is 11, is 13. So it's almost like a minimum of 10 times the size, because the data installed in it. And it's why, if you guys ever watch my streams, either at home or at work, it takes so long to load the worlds, because it's almost like exponent. I have, you know, my save folder is at one point was like 30 gig just for saves, and the majority of that are these replay saves. And what I have to do is, whenever I make a new video, I move all my saves out and start fresh, because if I had all my saves from the last year, it would be probably like 60 gig of saves, and I'd be waiting for 10 minutes before I could even select the world, right? So let's do something else now. I will show you, to finish off the night, we'll actually make a scene, as I've been rambling on about so long, but I want to show you guys the Keen splash screen video, so you can see the trickery behind that thing, right? Let's see if we can get this loaded up. Okay. Splash screen N22. There we go. Aha. So you see the shot, look. That's the final shot. That's the welding shot. I don't know if this is going to work, actually. That's the intro shot. Let's see if we can do this one. I don't know if it's going to work, honestly. Now, because the file format is outdated, normally this conversion process actually deletes my recording, and it was something I had to deal with. And these are all the things that internally you don't see, and it's reasons why that we don't have the tools out, because, you know, it's buggy and it is broken. The guys fix things and so on for me directly. Oh, they're all there, fantastic. But sometimes I've had it where I've lost all my recordings, and sometimes I'll have the perfect take. It's a real pain. Here we go then. So here is the Keen logo, and this is the beloved thing that you see all the time. Hit F5, numpad 5, and boom. And they all spread out. What they do here. There you go. They do actually go ahead and weld stuff, but I cut already. Like, it's like a 2-second shot and then it's cut, right? And then the end of the recording there. So that's it. So that's the first shot. We can back out of here. Skip intro. I feel like we need a setting for that, because I'm seeing a number of people who, I mean, after a while are really getting tired of this intro, right? They like it. It's like, seems good, but it's like not after the 100th time, right? So, splash. That's intro. I did it backwards, right? That's why splash 6 is actually the intro shot, because the final shot was this one, or something like that, because I'm basically grinding down the thing rather than, yeah, I don't know. Hold on. Let's see if this works. Okay. Hey, Surtex, welcome. All right, then. So here we have... I'll let it play out first, then. Okay, that should be set up. Let's get a different angle than we normally have. Hide all this stuff as well. Okay, here we go. It's proper cinematic mode now. Come on. No, come on, get it. Come on. No. Oh, he's missed it. There's another non-deterministic thing there. Because another thing is, if you collide, so any impact is going to screw up your recordings. My character hit that block, and there's this non-deterministic factor where you're given some random impulse. Is this correct, technical people? I think that's right. You're given a random or something like that, or you're thrown off at a random, direction. So even when you're not on the ground, voxel, cars, even collisions in space are problematic, because you can see here, this time round, it didn't actually weld this block up. I'm left with an incomplete King logo, right? Now, behind this, we've got some slopes here, right? You can see the cheeky breeky mods. And at the back of this thing, we've got a remote control, because I'm controlling this from behind, right? Because I wanted to get the spinny Rooney. And also, we've got here we will find ourselves a 2x2 rotor. That's right, a 2x2 rotor to get this centered perfectly. Right, stop recording. So we can actually show the spinning effect here. If I go Shift K, Control, and then terminal, stator 2x2. Yeah, you see, 45 degrees. Gonna work? Is it turned off? Hold on. Right, alright to lock. Now reverse. Come on, beauty. Come on. What's going on here? Oh, that's why. The limit. Ah, whatever. Whatever. Working now? It's moving. Oh, the torque's probably not high enough. It's probably the torque, right? Yeah. No. It's just very heavy. Struggling to spin it, I guess. Why it should be like... Oh, damn it. There we go. Ha ha ha. I don't know, chat. There's actually two rotors, isn't there? It's a rotor on a rotor for some reason. Why is that? I don't know. There's gyroscope. Oh, there is gyroscopes on it, actually. Displacement. Ah, displacement. Maybe the displacement's too... Yeah. There we go, that's better. Yeah, you're right. I had rotor displacement. I actually had rotor displacement. Oh, I don't know. Well, that's good. So let's actually quickly reverse it. It's very slow here. So let's actually just do this. Data, and hit reverse. And we'll see this beauty coming to life, right? Do you think you guys would like this as a world, as on the work? What do you reckon? Do you think people would like to play with this? I don't know. It seems kind of simple, but people always like stuff to play with. Turn both rotors on. I don't know. Let's go there now. When it definitely can spin quickly, so this boggles me a little bit. Alright, let's spin the other one then. Whatever, fam. Let's confuse it. Hey, thanks for the follows, guys. Crazy cool and Kiantero. Thank you, appreciate that. Yay. Ah, lower limit. Right. Oh, there we go. No, that's not quite working. It should be spin. Look at this. Oh, it stopped again. Unlimited. I'm totally confused. See how, look at that. But it ain't looking like that. It's kind of boogieing a bit here. What have I done? Oh my god. It's like not spinning. The rotors are opposite to each other? Okay. I'll stop the other one then. Hold on. Oh, they're both spin. Oh, maybe... Yeah, maybe they're both in the same way. Hold on. Yeah, that's better. I'm still quite slow. Bruh. Okay. Turn this off. Lock this one. Just spin the other one again. The one we didn't do. I reverse both. Well, now only one's spinning. No, that should be fine. Now, it seems the rotor lock's upset it though, hasn't it? The rotor lock seems to upset it again. Why aren't you spinning? Aha. Right. No, that's boogieing. Need to just do one. Stator. Whatever. You guys can see how I did it. It's playing up. But I'll tell you what I'll do now. I'll go and have a look at it. Actually, look at it. Oh! Oh! Well, look at that. Thank you. Alright. Yes, it was gyroscopes were upsetting it. Damn. You guys can see how it's perfectly lined up, right? Like, they're perfectly... Like in the logo... They perfectly line up. The star on the back is the same as the one on the front, except the one on the front is obviously cut to have the circle in there. Maybe I should have had this in the end of the trailer, right? Maybe it should have done the spin at the very end. It should have been like... Oh, keen. What do you reckon? So how about I turn the gyroscopes off? Maybe if I try turn the gyroscopes off, then it'll be okay. Because the gyroscopes are... Yes, good. That's better. That's smooth as well now, look at that. It's because the gyroscopes are in the very center of that thing. On purpose. I think I put them there because I wanted to try and get the right angle, because for whatever reason, I couldn't actually... Even at 45 degrees, it was slightly off. So I had to kind of use... Because the thing is, it wasn't like 45, it was like 45.2 or whatever like that. So I had to use the gyroscopes to get it really slowly and then stop it at the perfect moment because it wasn't quite right. Skyfire, thank you for the follow. Turn off... one off, break it up to 0. Yeah, we're sorted now. Drago, good to see you. So we come into this now and we see the breakdown of this. We can have a look at how I built it. It's not that complicated. It's really, the main thing is just the fact that underneath here, we've got one of these bad boys. You can see on my toolbar. So I think we had, here it is, rotor hollow. No, we didn't have the hollow rotor. That's something different. That's pretty cool though. Must be not on my, that's the rotor. So it was like, okay. Look at all them mods. So there's a petition to get what are these ramps here? What are these? To get your 6x1 armor ramps into vanilla, right? Because there was no way. There was no way to get the points. Like, you can't do it with 2x1. The angle ain't right. But look, you know what I mean? You can tell it's not the same because it don't match up, but. I cried. I actually cried a lot about this because there was no way. Where are those? Where is that rotor? It's stator, isn't it? Called stator. Aha! There we go. Stator 2x2. Was it? Yeah, 2x2 stator gap. I forgot whose mod this is actually. Should probably. I did know, of course. Right, that's a 2x2 rotor. So it would have been something like this. It would have been. Ow! There we go. Oh no. Yeah, like this. Redhead place on top. And then it would have been like this. right? And then I would have had the star with this on, and then I would have actually deleted the head and actually floated the star, the back star, into this contraption to capture this. I'm just trying to figure out why I put it on 2 rotors. Can anyone think why I would have done that? Why? What was it about, the distance or height or something like that? I'm just trying to remember my mentality here. Why I didn't just have a rotor. Oh yes, maybe the torque. Maybe it's possible it wasn't strong enough, because if you look right now, I'm moving this as fast as possible. So maybe it was to do with the strength. Possibly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I can walk down. I can walk underneath this. It's pretty cool. It's enough of the rotor displacement. It's a massive rotor displacement here, because I can actually get it where it's like pretty much not you know. This is a beautiful block, I must admit. This is absolutely glorious, and you know, I would love to see something like it. Like having more potential for like 2x1 stuff, because right now most things are 1x1, so for central thing it's fine, but came in handy. That glorious thing, look at that. It's got the mix of kind of vents as well as the connection panels. Hey Doctor, welcome. How you doing? So even this, of course, like it was definitely a day's work. It felt like a day's work to get this. Oh, yeah, I mean, one of the problems is, as you guys know, I'm not a master builder, so I'm sure some of you guys would have whipped this up in 20 minutes. But because normally I would say, hey Aragath, can you cook this up? But Aragath had loads of work on the encounters, so I was like, well, damn, I'm just gonna have to go make a keylogger myself. So it was good for my practice, though. You know, I had to use the mods and stuff, but trying to get all the circles and everything else, it was like I perfected this thing. And technically this isn't quite right, because what happened here with this arrow, it should actually come like this. You know, here you see it's like there must be a mod out there with the block I need. But you see what I mean, guys? Like, it should actually come to a single point at the end of this arrow. But I couldn't think how to get the shape right. So in the end, I just kind of forgot about it. But then at a distance, it's actually not too bad. So that's why I kind of like left it right. I know, Paper, I know. You could have used the opportunity to push more. I mean, of course I said about it. I was saying, but you know, time and resources, it was like, sure, mods. Like, it wasn't my idea to use mods. Because, of course, it's something, but, you know, yeah. The thing is, I think it's a Keen logo as opposed to a Space Engineers logo, so it's like, it could be mentioning the future things, right? Okay, I don't know. You can't. I know you can't. Every time you watch it now, it'd be like, bruh. Donut. Where, Kevis? There? No. Oh, there. Yeah. The elusive donuts. Yeah, leaks. I know you guys thrive off leaks, so yeah. Literally unplayable. Hold on a minute. Also, when did we fix the position? Because I'm pretty sure we had this thing at one point where your character didn't move around when a grid moved. Like you'd actually stay facing the same. Is that right? Am I going crazy? The fact that my character isn't spinning on the spot right now is kind of a surprise. But should it be a surprise? Oh, that was fixed in a major update a few hours ago. Okay, right. Yeah, I can't remember. It was so weird when it was there, though, wasn't it? Alright then, so that's the King logo, guys. Broken down. I don't think there's any more to add about it. Unless you got any questions about it. Like, again, trying to get the dimensions right, like... maybe if I'd use half blocks, because if you look at that trailer and you compare the dimensions to the actual thing, like I think the red is a little bit too fat or something like that. And at the time I couldn't think how to do it. But in hindsight, actually, if I'd slapped down some half blocks, it could have helped get just the right width. But it's okay. It's too late now, and I think it does the job, so whatever. Eight. Okay. Oh, the law. Okay, let's finish the. I could do loads here. I could do this intro thing here. I could do the drop pods. Okay, Roid chase. I'll show this out quickly. This is an experiment I did. All right, have a good night, WP man. Great to see you again as always. And Janinja, welcome. Wait, what question? What did you just join? Wait, have I hit 4,000 hours? Alright guys, news just in, it's official, it is official, I have officially hit, I need to take a screenshot of this, hold on. I am a part of the 4,000 hours in Space Engineers. You guys are witnessing me right now crossing that enormous milestone. You know, after playing Space Engineers now for a good amount of time, I'm honoured that you could join me for this momentous occasion. It means a lot. I mean, you know, like, I think even 100 hours, whenever you hit like a sub 100 is not a big deal, but every 1,000 hours in a game is a freaking big deal. So yeah, let's compare how many hours you guys got in chat tonight. Let's see where we're all at. Let's see if we've got some. You know, don't be shy. It's okay if you've got, you know, not so many, because it's, you know, sometimes you're new to the community. Let's see what we got tonight, and let's see who's got more than me. So I'm interested. Who's better? Who's more experienced than me? What should I say? Got some. Okay, got 1,500, 6. Got 1,200, 88. Oh, good number there, Climb. 2064 was a good number there. 1707. Shadow flickering. Oh yeah, I had to deal with that. That's why I normally stop the sun rotation. No, a little trick as well. I often disable sun rotation in videos because of that. Right, that just subtle thing moving around, it triggers me. So, 600. So I don't feel bad about that, man. That's a lot. That's still a huge amount, Sawyer. I'm proud of you, bruh. Special place. And then Stiletto comes along and calls you a pleb. That's not very nice, Stiletto. Anything, I've always said this, everything over 100 seems good, man, because 100 hours in anything in life, like, tell me, what else have you done in life for more than 100 hours? There are some things, I'm sure, but they're still limited, right? They're not as many as things you've done for 1 hour, say. 150 hours, Zach. Really? But how much? Okay, but how much have you spent developing Torch? 363 and still playing. Awesome, Mr. Master. 2000s. Roni's got. I'm catching up to Roni Dude. That's a pretty impressive. Roni Dude's like an insane player, so that's quite good news. 2019. Kevis is a scrub as well, apparently. Jadisa says elite. Is it elite there? No, not quite elite. It was 1377. What about? And then we come in with Hamster Doctor with 7,000 hours. Yeah, that's something quite different. I'm kind of sad in a way. I'll never hit 4,000 again. It's on to almost a 5,000 now. I'll never get that nice round number. So, guys, this is an early version of the pirate chase, right? I used to have. It was gonna be like this. It was basically all I did was. This is what I did for the storyboard. I slapped on a classic blue ship, did a black undercoat, and then just put some. It's like a dark blue, in fact. But then I put like a rusty color over the bit, some random white stuff. Just kind of made it a bit kind of like a tabby cat color, you know. And the seat, you might think that seat's crazy, but the seat was to get a shot like this. I mean, back up a little bit here. But I think like we weren't in the end, like, we decided to go against that and go for a free cam. But it was something like this. So you can't see the seat, it's attached to the ship. Then I hit 5. Is it gonna work? Maybe, let's see. Oh, there's no, it's not gonna work, there's no pilot seat. Ah, okay. Anyway, as you can imagine, damn it. I see where I'm going there, so you see that playing out. But you can see what it would have been. It's basically like watching it from this view and going, so yeah. Bit of iteration on the pirate fighter. Fantastic, Quintero. It's awesome, man. Let's say, I feel bad now for those who haven't at 100 and might be kind of lurking, but really, even if you haven't got 100, if you're playing Space Engineers, you're in my heart, you know. Special place. Oh, let's do this shot, one of my favourite. This is the Green Station Follow Me Too. You can see sometimes I get frustrated, and it's like no rotor, take 22. You know, there's all kind of names here, and like this is just a fraction of my saves. I kind of plucked some out of the office to show you tonight, but actually, I probably had like 100 odd saves, all the different like iterations, like shot 22, angle 25, whatever. You know, this is just some of them. Oh, here we go then. Right. Go down. So this is the shot I had perfectly timed. It was a coincidence, actually. Right. So you see, queued up here, we've got one of my ships I built recently. Ready to go past. We've got our engineers. We've got a ship ready for a flyby here. There's some... That's what these guys are about. It's a bit worrying. I don't know if they were in the video, but damn, there's some guys just floating here. And then, if I just go like... I think it's just a pan like this. Slow that down a bit. So like, okay. Yeah, I feel normally Equinox, thinking of that shadow thing, I feel like well, the first thing I do is disable shadow. No, pause the sun rotation so you don't get that shadow flickering, right? Right, let's replay this. Here we go then. See the ship passing through. There you go. Boom, like that. Obviously, again, that was a quick take, and I'd probably have recorded that and then done another take and so on. But you get all that stuff, all that movement in the background. Like, of course, it's... Oh, man. Yay. I know the timing. It's because it's a bit like, you know, like some cooking show. It's like, here's something I prepared earlier. You're seeing like a final shot, which I prepped, but only Shadow Trace and Climb will know a little bit about how long it takes to get the right thing, right? And everything working correctly and looking correctly. So you got to change the settings to force update shadow. You don't need more than 2 FPS anyway. Exactly, Equinox. And we need that. Who needs 2 FPS, right? 1 is enough for me. Frame a second. You also missed this as well, which I didn't have as a shot here, but actually what happens is you've got the 2 bodyguards. These guys are green. Another green, and then the leader of the greens is leading the 2 white engineers here. So if we press replay, the bodyguards walk forwards and actually stop at the foot of the square, and then leave those guys to go up like that, and they just stay here like that, hanging out. So you can see that. See, see some not bugs, but I didn't show this off. I was very careful with my camera placement. I just couldn't bother to delete them. But I actually, in this world, I had like these random planet placements in the background, so no idea about that. But look at this station guide. Look at this. It is so good. Like, I just love the bracings here, right? These cross bracings and the tanks. For me, this is like classic Space Engineers space station, and it's so cool because you've got like the landing spots with connectors. This is like the kind of smaller ship zone. You've got a slightly bigger one with like a double landing zone. You've got like a dock from the side. These kind of more like larger ship docks with this kind of universal docking port here, right? Like this. And then you've got the biggest dock down the end here as well. So it's actually, it's such a freaking cool design station. The kind of a modular feeling. Yeah. Honestly, I managed to get things at 4K 60, but at 1080p, it's like performance is even less a concern because Space Engineers are so well optimized now, compared to a couple of years ago. Like 1080p with like kind of a current gen GPU, and it's like really you could have massive scenes now, and it's not at all a problem. So, yeah. I love to use this as some hub on a multiplayer server, right? Like have this as some hub. Safe zone hub, which we can all just come and meet at. It'd be so sick. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, Klein, we've done cinematic ratio before, right? Like there was 2 trailers. We did the physics overhaul and the visual overhaul. Yeah, those 2 were done in cinematic aspect ratio, but in the end, it definitely does make it more cinematic. It's automatic. It's literally, we could do it now. We could actually do it now. Oh, hold on. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just watch a bit of the trailer, right? Let's watch a bit of the trailer, and I'll just crop the source, right? Because I never tried it just to see if it makes any difference. But I opted against it because lots of game trailers don't have that, and it kind of cools the game. I don't know. I don't know. Let's have a little look here. To see if it makes it any better or worse. You will be missing some details because like engineers and ships will be cut out. So we do like this. We do transform, we do edit, and then we do for top, let me say 50? No, more than that. 100 pixels. I don't know how much this is going to be. Let's try 100. There'll be some maths to it, but I can't think right now. Hold on, let's just... okay. That's kind of working, but we need to get some... I need to get rid of myself, right? That's first. We also need to get a... Alright, give me a sec. It's a black screen. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Okay. Should have a black... let's just download a... Oh no. Just to paint.net. Image, canvas size, 1920 1080p. Fill tool. Black. Done. Save. Black. Oh, I've already got a black screen JPEG in here. I think I've already have a black screen JPEG apparently. Okay. In that case, add files. Black screen. There we go. Right. A bit small. Resize that. Bugger. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Just cover the whole thing. Right, there we go. Okay. So that's that. And now... color picker. What do you reckon, guys? Is that 21.9? Can someone tell me? We're just trying to trial watching the trailer and to see how it would be if we did it in cinematic FOV. Steven Zockberg. Or do I need more crop on that bad boy? Let me just take a screenshot of this. I just calculate this. It's in pixels, so I actually should be able to do it. It's like 21.9. Let me think. Nah. Let's just 150. How many pixels high does it need to be? Oh god, I can't think. I really can't. Oh, I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Get this tool and do 21. 1080p 21.9 is 20. Wait, no, hold up. 920 by 823, right? That's a roughly right, because then it's like 300 onto that is 11. It's not far off, is it? It means I think it's a bit too much. I know, yeah, Gold Slayer. So it's 823, which means that each thing, yeah. Divided by 2. To 128. 128 pixels, top and bottom. Or roughly, I mean, whatever. It's going to be fine. To be fair, that looks like not enough. Like 128 is less. Let's just roll with this. Ah. See, I would frame it differently. If I knew it was going to be this aspect ratio, I'd have ships in different places and so on, but... Oh damn, I'm watching Star Wars.
Survival. Is it enough to simply get by? Or does it mean pushing yourself and others to overcome anything that...
How are you guys feeling about it? Much difference? It's so weird. It's like the human brain. What's going on? All you guys think this is better.
We are space engineers, masters of construction and design in the harshest environments known to humankind. We are innovators. We are explorers. Where others see problems, we see potential. We see opportunities.
I think I'm also going to get a version of this without the voiceover. Just because, just the music, right? I think I'm going to ask our sound guy to render me out one without the voiceover. Just for, safekeeping, just for me, you know.
Astronomy. The laws of thermodynamics.
You see it?
Navigation. Knowledge of these skills can be the difference between life and death.
Yeah, it's grown on me. I have to admit, it is kind of better, right? The framing isn't too bad, Oh my god, yeah. Oh god, there's a couple of moments where even I'm feeling like I'm watching a brand new trailer. Oh god, that looks good.
One of the strongest forces in the universe is the need to create. Every time we build something out of nothing, every time we give shape and organization to something that had no structure, we are creating a miracle. We need to create. Creating is our destiny. It is why we were put into this universe. We push the limits of what is perceived a realistic goal. We turn
that is much better like this. Wow.
The improbable to the complete.
Yeah, my boy Smoky.
To believe that everything is possible. Our imagination is our ultimate tool. It has no boundaries. that advanced theories and sophisticated
Yeah,
technology
boy.
aren't enough. For it is creativity and teamwork that make true space engineers. There's many of us. We are growing. We are getting stronger. Someday they will ask, where were you when the first space engineer welded the red ship? What will you create? Where will you explore? How will you survive?
There we go then, guys. Let's have to admit, that is pretty freaking sweet. Where are we now? Let me just slideshow. And I am there. Wow. Like, really? I tell you what I'll do is, I've got a plan. So I just stream like that. Should I, hold on, should I, no, I can't do it easily. Should my stream just always be in that? Do you guys want to live in a movie? No, but I've suddenly thought what I can do is, hopefully it's still there. I'm just going to request a version without the voiceover, so it's just like all we're listening to. There's nothing against the voiceover. It's just like a version, like kind of like I don't know, because I think that the voiceover makes it feel more like a trailer. Where I think if we hadn't had the voiceover, it was just like music and beat. It would kind of be like a mini thing. So I'm thinking that I can get that. And I will go through the video and move the scene slightly, because the framing, right? Like, for example, some of them, if I just, because I've recorded it in the full 16:9 resolution, what it means is I can actually move. I have a bit of freedom to move the actual the image like up and down, right? So if there's more stuff going on at the top, I can put it at the top. I think ideally, if you wanted to do that at the time, is actually buy a monitor in the 21:9 configuration, right? And then because then it's easier to record, because you're actually looking at what you're seeing. You see what I mean? Like, because it's kind of hard to picture. Like, I know we did it in the last trailers. Like, when you're trying to record for like a cinematic thing, it's really sometimes okay. So I need to leave a space at the top of the image, because if it's up there, it's going to get cut off. But then, of course, I can use this thing in Premiere to just move the whole video up and down. So I'm thinking, if I get some time, I will stick duct tape to your monitor. Actually, maybe you can run monitors. Hold on. Wait a minute. No. Maybe you can run your monitor in 21:9. Because in Space Engineers you can, but I think it just stretches it. I can't think, but. Because in Windows, you can actually run it in a... So yeah, maybe. Thinking about that. Anyway, very cool. So I'm thinking if I get some time the next month, I will just find it and I will do a cinematic pass and publish it somewhere, because I have to admit, in some ways, it was like watching something completely different in a way. It was... Now, what is it? Because people publish, even like, not Linus, but the people publish 21:9 videos on YouTube. But if you watch it nowadays, if you watch 21:9 videos on YouTube that are rendered in 21:9, they don't have the bars. They just look like a thinner thing on YouTube, right? Now, when we did it, we rendered the footage out with the black bars, so it's always going to be there. But nowadays, you can actually render out videos to all kinds of crazy aspect ratios. Well, not so many crazy, but some crazy. And YouTube accepts that now as a raw file without adding black bars, right? Oh, for instance, forever? Really? I feel like only recently I've seen these like widescreen YouTube videos. Or at least YouTube having support for that, but I maybe could be wrong. Good to see you, GQ. Re-record this all in. I'm just been a while. Fits the music better for some reason, yeah. So I was looking back at some of the comments I wasn't looking at. All right then, guys. So I'll tell you what. To finish tonight, let's set up a scene. Let's set up a scene here, or we can add to it. Maybe we should add to Smocky's scene, because Smocky's just got a naturally cool scene. So I can show you some of the issues I have with the non-deterministic features, right? I don't see buffers. The stream's working for me. There was no drop frame, so I don't know what's... Obviously, you and Kev are on the same internet or something. F? Wait, what? What's going on? It must be Twitch. It must be Twitch's end, because I'm not seeing any frame drops. There's nothing in OBS. Very weird. Right, yeah, okay, let's go to this then. Let's go to... this is the valley. Let's look at this first. Oh, no, wait. Oh, okay. Got a couple of plans. Here to show off. This is our special edition stream. Just a quick replay of this one, because this one I want to show you guys the work I did on the old drop pods, right? So basically, I just dropped them here. Drop the oh god, there's a massive bit of ore there. Oh my god. So I just dropped them. Sometimes a bit too many of them. There's actually more in the hole, right? Like I dropped like 2 or 3, and the voxel collision was way too much, so they actually just sank down. So I actually had to manually paste them in and shoot them, I think, to get it looking good. But from a distance, it was like this. Nice view up here, though. Yeah, it's one of those moments where I was really proud of myself. I was like, damn, yeah, boy. Look at this. Look at Smocky's design here. Look at this, how great this looks. Like this in itself could be a separate game. I don't know, it's just something about it. Something, I guess, good feel, you know, feels good man. It's a feels good man color palette and feels good man vibe going on in this place. Happy outpost, you know. Can replay this. Maybe you'll see how the car now will go somewhere different. Look at the car. Look at the car. The car should be right next to the building, and that guy's looking at the driver of the car. But no, the non-deterministic shenanigans has sent it off over there. So if we actually stop recording, reload it, and show it again, you'll see exactly how I have to do multiple takes to get the right place because of this random stuff. Okay, and again, we've got the shots ready. Hit 5. How about this time? Oh, that's a bit better. So that's good that time. Just where I want it. Because for some reason the randomization numbers was good to me, you know. No, it's not non-deterministic everywhere. There's just some parts of the game you can have this non-deterministic thing, right? That's the key thing, and it's mainly any impacts. And with the ground vehicles, it's constant impacts, right? The vehicles are constantly impacting with the ground. You see what I mean? Right, there we go. Let's get it putting up again. And that time was okay as well. Not quite, actually. Look, that time there it was a bit. It should be round more. See, it's just so weird. So you can see, even assuming I have the camera angle right and the camera speed right, I have to do multiple takes to actually get the actual positioning of the car I want, you know. Oh, this is glorious. Honestly, like, it's for me, even coming back to these worlds that I spent a lot of time in, to see the craftsmanship of our community it's incredible. It really is. This would be a pretty sick shot, actually. Let's try. Look at this. It's pretty cool. Nice and smooth. Buttery 60 FPS. Because the physics is realistic. So it's a good thing that it's non-deterministic, right? Right. So that's that one. And now we'll go into the valley and we'll actually show you guys how the thing works. So, and after that, we'll call it a night. I think it's a good stream, though. It's going to be a solid 4-hour stream with a good run through the trailer and all the sneak peeks and stuff. If you just joined us late tonight, I definitely recommend going through the first part because I talk about the trailer and all the snippets and things in great detail that I can remember. Okay. Okay, one more shot. Okay, one more then. The launch. This is the Here we go then. So this is the oh, okay. So this here they've already landed, right? Obnoxious, welcome. This is the second shot. So the ships have kind of landed here nearby, and this is just the launch of the elevator. You can see it's bursting to launch. It's clanging away there. We've got our strike fighter. So let's launch this bad boy. All right. Well, I'm turning all the jetpacks on. Another issue with the game, actually. The fact that happens. Otten, welcome. So, K, convert the ship, and launch. And away we go. It launched all the engineers off as well when I switched it to a ship, so that would have to be something I'd have to get all the engineers back onto the grid after the game saved, right? Sorry, yeah, after I converted to a ship. There's the pilots. Go to launch. Power on. Hold on, power on. Dampeners off. Unlock landing gears. Ready? And boo. And we're off. No, we're not off. We're off for a little bit. We're off. This could have been actually the end of the trailer, actually. We could have had something like this at the end, like actually taken off. Because the thing is, I kind of in the end decided to leave it as a mystery. Like we didn't actually show you if it was an infinite ladder, was it going to some high up station? Because I hadn't really decided the end of it. I just wanted to have this kind of like camera hit shot, right, where the lift would hit it. So I kind of left it to the imagination where it was going, but it was still kind of supposed to be a launch platform because this ship is atmospheric, right? So it's clearly not going to space. But look at this. I get a Gladius vibe, actually. Any Star Citizen fans? I get a little bit of a Gladius vibe from it. Maybe just the back, the wing shape, right? Bring it about. We can deploy the targeting camera, I think. Hold on, where is it? Yeah, 3. Ready? And now we have... Oh, we're falling quite quick here. What's going on? Uh-oh. Why are we falling? Okay, we're fine. And then when we're ready... It might not work because I don't think scripts are turned on, but hold up. Oh god. They're off. Gonna hit target, hit the target, hit the target. Are they gonna hit... Yeah, they're coming in, they're coming in, they're coming in, they're coming in. They're coming in. Oh! Damn! They all hit! Amazing. But damage is turned off, that's the problem. I got damage turned off, so... Actually, I'm kind of curious how that would have gone if I had damage turned on. They'd actually then severed the thing, right? Hold on. Now they got damage on. Yeah, just kaput. Really nice. Just like I just see this as a high-end fighter. The fact it's got the script running and it's got the targeting camera and all that stuff. It's really something that you're not going to be making when you first get Space Engineers, right? Figuring out that stuff. I love it though. Look at it. Oh, man. I was trying to sever it. I was so close. Look at that. Oh, God. Alright, then. Oh. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, God. My... It's pushed out. Oh, that would have done it. Oh. Hold on, it's coming. It's coming. The calculations are oh, there it goes. Oh, man. Oh, God. Hold on. It's tipping. What's it doing? Is it just sat there? Just gonna chill out there? What? No, the leader, look, the missiles, look at the missile up there. The missile up there spinning around. It's just happy. It's just sad there. What the heck? We're going to have to set this a bit more. Come on. Parts are falling down. Yeah. Right, come on, come on, come on. What's going on here? Oh, now we go. There we go. Thank you. I had to we just sat there for a long time. There we go. It's coming down now. Oh, timber. Oh, severed that connection to the thing. It's found a new... Is it just going to balance? I mean, hold on. It's the gyroscopes on this thing. What's even on this? It's like life up top seems all right, you know. There's a guy up here. Where is he? There he is. Wait. Ah, see, that's the thing. I kept skipping past him. Hold on. Oh, not again. Right, there we go. Thank you. You gotta be kidding me. Look, it's just... It's rocking gently, but it's has no interest in falling. I was kind of tripping. Look at that. It's moving at 0.3 meters per second. Oh, hold on. Is it timbering? You reckon it's going that way? What is that sound? Oh god. Is it moving in slow motion or is and why is it going off? Wait, what? Physics. What's happening to it? Oh my god. Wait, what? It like launched itself sideways. Listen, it's driving itself. Listen. The wheels are actually spinning on that thing. It's doing a loop-de-loop. It's doing a loop-de-loop. Look. Oh, please. Oh, oh no. Hold on, what's this? Is it going around in circles? Like, if you saw this, any of us, you'd think this would be a bug, right? Well, I guess it is a bug, but it's literally like, this is a Clang-powered device Aragas created, because this is not flying. Look, it fell off the top, went off the side, came back round, and it's now almost, it's flying horizontal nearly now. It's actually literally got its mind of its own. It's even starting to steer. I'm trying to understand how this is working, honestly. Listen to the noises. Infinite power. It's coming down, though. It's coming down. Not too bad, actually. That was it. And the rest of it's still standing, amazingly. Oh, no, I tell a lie. It came down. It kind of came down now. It's at a weird angle. Alright then, well, that was an interesting experiment, wasn't expecting that. So really, to finish the stream, guys, we're gonna go to Smocky's world and just make a quick scenario here. It's great to see this. I mean, the thing for me is nice because obviously, you know, my last year's work, I mean, to see my ship in the main menu like this, oh god. It's one of those ones that it's kind of not biased, but it's kind of like, you know, because I make the trailers, it's like, you know. But still, like, obviously they're on YouTube, but it's actually nice to see, you know, my work in games, you know what I mean? I don't code, I don't make art, but like, seeing even this in the main menu, and also to hear people enjoying it in the main menu, like to hear this thread on Reddit, how people were enjoying just watching these videos for like 20 minutes. It's really great to hear, you know, because a lot of work went into them. And not just from me, I'm saying from the sound. I mean, I know you can't hear the sound, but just in general. I love it. I mean, the physics overhaul was one of my favorites because we had all this engineering stuff and all the mechanical things, right? All right, Oda, have a good night, man. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Oh, yeah. Taking a while to load here. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you want to delete the worlds once you've edited, because this is taking a long time because of all those freaking you know, worlds with the recordings, you know. Yes, I modded this, obnoxious. I didn't mod this. Right, here we go then. Of course, hilltop, arriving. What do I want here? Ooh. There's definitely one here. It was like... Valley? No. I had it earlier, didn't I? With a car in the hangar. Oh, this is it. That's it here. Ah, here it is. Okay. Fantastic. Complex base with shipyard. Build 3. Again, this would have been the final shot of the trailer. I'm going to quickly show you it. But again here, this was the shot. Had to set up the lighting. Had to get this right. It was going to be with the shadow across the road. This was it. And then it was something. What was it actually? Was it like a... No, it wasn't that. It was a... I don't remember the movement. It might have just been sideways, but still. Hit F5. Here we go. So the rest of it, there's people running around. That's driving off. The non-deterministic thing's working pretty good there, you can see. It's driving around that road quite nicely. Isn't it? It's actually working really well. It's actually the recording, and then I'll probably stop there. This thing's welding up. There we go. That's like a recording there of that, so very, very nice. Okay, so if we reload that one more time. Okay, so I'm just being indecisive because no, nah. How you doing, Nax? Sometimes Twitch unfollows people. Like really, like if it I don't know why or how, but sometimes it's not unheard of for people to you know, get unfollowed from channels. No, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Skyfire. And I'm so looking forward to getting this tool into the community's hands. I will add... I'm trying to decide what to do. Okay, we can just add something new here. There's a new character, right? Gotta find him. Already where he was. That's why I wanted to do something else, because it's gonna take us ages here to actually get the one we want. Right, here's the one. And thanks for following, Axe. So let's just start with something basic. Let's just have like a little group of engineers running into this building, right? That building right there. Here they are. I'm going to save this as showcase replay tool. Okay. Open my menu up again. Oh, I did press the wrong button. Oh, what did I press? Uh-oh. Don't know what I did there. So first up, I want to hit numpad 7, because numpad 7 will keep the recordings. Let's get guns out as well. You need to have the tools that you want equipped, because I'm pretty sure you can't switch tools. So I have to have my gun equipped. Now save it. I hit numpad 7 to see that, to keep recordings through reload. Now once you're in position, you hit numpad 6, and this is record and replay. And what it will do is all the other things that are replaying in the world will move. So all the ships and stuff over there will be moving, and I can see when they're moving, so I know how to time myself. But this is a separate zone, so we can leave them doing their own things. We hit F6, and now we're running. A little jog here. There's a car moving here as well, all from earlier. The key thing is you do not want to save it. I probably can't open the door either. It probably doesn't work very well. I don't think you can do that, but you come. Crouch. Maybe go into this little cupboard here and stop. Right, that's done. So yeah, you might think, okay, I've recorded. Let's save the game now. But of course you don't want to do that, because if you saved it now, you'd be saving it in the end states, right? You'd be saving your character now where he's finished, and you don't want to do that, because I can hit replay now again, but he'll be doing the same actions that he did earlier, which aren't going to be compatible from where I am right now. And you can hear clanging going on, because probably, yeah, ships are crashing, cars are ramming and so on because things are replaying where they shouldn't be. So I don't want to save it. We'll hit F5, reload. And when you're prepping the worlds, you don't need to worry about the lighting and the shadows and all that because, of course, you're going to be still adding, layering up these engineers. So you don't actually need to have the... You only need to mess with the lighting and stuff when you actually have all the characters in position. So now I hit U, add a new character right next to me, and then we can find him. Oh, there we go. Perfect, fine. So right there. Get a gun for this guy. Behind. Shift F5, save. We're ready to make the next character. Numpad 6, again. Go. Character's running. Following the guys. You can see a ship flying over the head. Shadow, you can see the rover moving. If the door doesn't open, I know what I'm going to do. Right, let's just... I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to have the door already open, pretty much. And I'll get in the opposite doorway, so I'm looking at this guy. There we go. Playing. Again. Replay. Reload. And if you watch Aaron's video, he has this all pretty much the same thing here. So 10 minutes to make a really quick scene. Right, so what I want to do first is add a character, switch to them. You can see now, I don't have to switch, as long as I'm careful. So now, have the door open because I think interaction with objects, as guys said earlier, opening doors, pressing button panels with this tool, getting into cockpits is not working, but I think it should. I'm pretty sure it should work, so it's a bug maybe. So I'm going to turn it off. Come back here. And now get my gun out. Shift F5, save, reload and replay, and off we run. This should be fine now. This should just run right in. I'm going to do a jump as well. Sprint forward a little bit. Check my back. Carry on running. Here we go. Go, 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 go. Let's do this, Marines, and all that kind of stuff. And this guy's just going to come, crouch in. Checking the corners and all that stuff. Just check here. Okay. And shoot a little bit. Ah, I got spooked. I don't know what the story is. Okay, right. Reload again. Oh man, screenshots. Those loading screens are so much better now. No more like hacky thrusters and things that are irrelevant. You know, they're all up-to-date screenshots now. Okay, so one more character. Okay, switch right to him. So we've got like, we'll do one more guy running in. Someone bringing up the rear. Shift F5. And away we go. You can look up, see that ship flying over. Look to the left, see that. See the guy jumping. Can't running. Stop at the bottom. Check. Oops, there's something going on there. Then we go. See how I go for shooting. Another thing that is weird is the shooting, right? See the shooting? He's shooting down. Now this is another one of the issues. And he's still, I don't know why he's also still shooting. It's kind of weird. But the point is, it's something to do with the aim, right? The same interacting with button panels and opening doors. He's not shooting where he should shoot. I don't even know where the decals, like... Ah, look where they're going. Because they come from the character, there's some shenanigans here. It's probably because it's where I was looking, right? I was looking at that spot. It's something like this. And there are limitations with this, I have to admit, right? Anyway, let's reload this. We'll add in some flying stuff and some driving stuff, maybe. To finish this off. I'm gonna have a quick replay here. So basically, if you want your stuff saved, you basically save at the end. You save after you've reloaded it. So what I'll quickly do is here, add another character, bring this guy, and we'll just have like an army of engineers, like just watching them run, right? And maybe it's some like army, but I don't know what it is. I just okay. Oh no, not cool, not cool actually, because we've got a lot to switch through. Okay, we'll do it like this. Sim speed's dropping now, as you can say. I can't have so many characters because it's ragdoll and everything else. It does start to get a little bit crazy. That's why the trailers, even though they are handcrafted like this, you can't just have like a million characters in the scene. It's still going to be hitting performance, right? So many of them. Hey, I don't kill coyotes. I'm assuming you don't kill coyotes. Okay. Yeah, if I was really making an effort, I would get them all into, you know, ranks and proper files and so on, but get into space now. They're all, as you see, they're all Xocliws, right? All of the name tags, they're all Xocliws. That look pretty sick though. It's my last guy. This is oh no, there's one more guy. I tell a lie. I want one guy to be in the front, and he's because there is an order, right? There's an order to the way you switch through them. So if I get this final guy, he's gonna be like, "Listen up, lads." Now, I can't remember if I have to save it for every one of them. I can't remember because what I might have to do is I have to record something. I can't remember if it saves the characters if you haven't recorded something, right? Now I can do this trick, and this guy can be... Oh, he's buggered. Oh. Alright, that'll do. Oh, damn, yellow. See what I mean? There's like, listen up, Marines. But if I reloaded this, I'm pretty sure everyone would be yellow. Or maybe not, because this is using this special menu. But I have to admit, that looks sick. I really like the plain yellow helmet. I feel like I've never done that in yellow before. Like green, blue, purple, but yellow is really damn cool. Then we can bring the daytime up as well. There we go. Let's hide this stuff. Get some nice screenshots here as well. Oh, Pete. Oh, Sawyer, please. I mean, I just said your name. I meant, all right, Sawyer, please. Honestly, the thought of pizza right now is so... I didn't even eat properly today. I had like a bag of crisps, I think. I had a bag of crisps and then a carrot and some hummus. I don't know, it's been a weird day. The thought of some really oily American pizza. The pizza that I had in, what was it? Santa Cruz. My God, it was the greasiest pizza I've ever had, but it was so damn good. I actually want to cry when I think about it. Yeah. But what are you guys thinking about this? How are you feeling about like this right here? Like, imagine this as a cinematic, and this music as well. back up a little second here. Wait. The best would be if they had the camo suit, right? Like if they had the camo pattern, that'd be pretty sick. They need some guns. Need some of that American freedom. Hold on, let me sort them out with guns then. I can do this. Look, I have to just go through all of them. So 3 gun, 3 gun. Oh no. Right, gun, 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 gun. No, that guy doesn't need a gun. There we go. Alright then, lads. Are you ready? Taking some screenshots. That's like a firing squad. I tell you what's weird about this. It's seeing that many emissive skins. We're looking at like $1,000 of value. $1,000 of value right here. No, I'm kidding, but because normally, you know, you see like the classic engineers maybe spammed, or you might see it in multiplayer. Like we've had this many players in multiplayer, right? Like real people all gathered around. But I think seeing this many emissive suits, it'd be the same deal if we saw this many camo suits. I think if everyone was in a camo out uniform. All right, maggots, who wants to live forever? Exactly. He needs like a pistol or something. Let's do like this. Show me your warfare. Pistol. Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm just trying to showcase you, like, right now, like, what people could be doing with this tool, right? Even if you're not good at making movies, I think you guys can easily spam engineers in, and suddenly, imagine this screenshot. Imagine if Smoky, I think the next screenshot competition is gonna be amazing, because we could have it like this, right? Literally, I could be like this. There's a screenshot. It's like, you know, the captain, the commander telling his lads what's going on. Right, let's replay this scene now with our newfound friends. The races, Sawyer. Do you mean the race I used to do on the channel? Where's my other boys? Okay, here come the boys. This is like the special squad. Oh, actually, let's do the special squad. Hold on, go get through all these again. These can be a custom color again. Alright. Got to set the emissive because it's going to upset it here, isn't it? No, hold on. Maybe it's not. I did. Yeah, bugger. Right, this can be the pink 316. Special edition pink. Hot pink. Hat. That's hot. Ooh. Ooh. That's nasty. Digital camouflage in pink without any... There we go. So I'm saying this setup process I'm doing right now, every single time you wanted to take a serious take, you'd have to do this. You know? It's better than trying to get them to a med bay and losing all that, but still. Hey, thanks to follow, Sayako. I appreciate that. All the follows tonight, guys. There's been a lot of them. So if you're new to the channel, it's good to have you here. And I'm playing Space Engineers at least twice a week. At the moment, more like 3 or 4 times. So, well. This is a developer menu, But I think if we were to release the tool to the public, we'd actually give you guys this as well, right? But you'd only be able to access skins that you own for reasons, probably. Huh? Strange. So they've all got pink helmets now, apart from this guy. For some reason, might not get a pink helmet. And we go then. And replay. And off they go. Oh, the night's changing. Damn it. Damn it, the night time's coming. You know what I mean? I have the freedom to move my camera, you know, exactly where I want it. Don't do it! That's annoying now. And stop recording. Hello. I wish nothing but the best for you. What do you mean, OMG? That sounds like... Did I miss something? I appreciate the kind words, but it's the kind of thing you say. Oh. Okay. Oh, I see. Sorry, I grinned. Threw me off for a second. I was like, oh. It's like OMG's like headed out or something, or like. Oh, stop that shooting. Come on. Damn it. Gotta find them now. Come on. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Right, enough of that. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's true. So yeah, I was supposed to do Satisfactory tonight. I played it for like an hour on Saturday, yesterday. I loved it, but we're out of time, and I always plan this tonight. And when does the alpha end? Like tomorrow, right? I mean, like the alpha weekend, and it ends. Does it end tomorrow night, or does it end like now, like tomorrow? Do you know what I mean? Like worst case scenario is it's coming out soon anyway, so I wanted to do it tonight as well, but we kind of, it's now like 2 AM and we've done a lot more of the tool than I expected. But this is again, we will do more of this. I think we'll definitely do more of this tool. I think if you guys are interested in seeing it, like this is throat's going again. This is some random scene, but if we wanted to sometime, we could do like we could actually do a cinematic on stream, right? We could actually, from the start, together with chat helping me and suggestions, we could actually make like a mini, even if it's a 1 minute cinematic with the tool. Not very camouflaged, that and we could also try doing multiplayer to help it, right? My eyes are hurting now. Yeah. I think it's time for bed, lads. Chat. Yeah, it's been a long one. Good one, though. Let's check this. What's going on here? That's very strange. Okay, fine. I think I'll end the shot. I think I'll end the stream with a shot like Pretty better without any gun, actually. Think of it now, because they all have the same pose. They probably look better without if they didn't have a weapon equipped. Oh no, better, like, you know what I wish we had? A pose like this, you know, rather than always shouldered. I wish we had like an engineer's pose that was just, hold on. Because it immediately looks not aggressive, but it looks like, you know, tactical mode, as opposed to just like at ease mode, right? There we go. Let's get the yellow guy back a bit. Got a plan. Come on. There we go. Sim speed is at 0.85 now, so this is already too many characters. Yeah, salute. If they were all... yeah. Salute would be sick, actually. Too far away now? I don't know. It's pretty good. Alright then, fam. Who have we got in the chat tonight? 3, 2... Hold on. Actually, I got a plan. I'm actually going to do a couple of things. I just saw a message. I might make this into a YouTube video for Keen to Post. So in that case, I'm just going to say, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure. And hope you enjoyed tonight. And we'll be doing more Space Engineers in the following weeks. So be sure to follow and all that good stuff. And no, but seriously, guys, thank you. It's been an honor to actually share these details with you. And I look forward to really, hopefully, seeing this in the community's hands at some point.